Hey guys, this is Talia and Trevere, here with Luke, playing more
Hello.
Murders on the Yangtze River. Yeah, so last time we finished up Case 4, I think it was. And hello Radio, welcome to the stream. So yeah, it was Elle all along, who would have guessed? Certainly not Luke.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always your first instinct.
yeah. So yeah, now we've arrived at our destination.
The cutthroat publishing industry.
Yeah. Which is apparently Shen's hometown, where he grew up. And also
Wait, seriously?
the location of...
Oh, is that just dropped?
Yeah, they mentioned that at the last
Was
ending little scene when
Very
we
end,
got off
okay.
at the...
I must have missed it.
Yeah. He did mention
Shen's childhood home,
that. Yes, and also the location of this publishing house that we've been trying to get to. That hopefully can give us some answers about Shen's brother's death.
What happened to our brother?
Yeah. Are we gonna get a good ending? I don't believe this has multiple endings, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, it definitely has some bad endings. There might be a...
Well, yeah, for sure. There's like, you failed,
like,
you die.
Yeah, Ace Attorney had a few especially like notable bad endings.
Yeah,
like,
if you screw up during a specific moment. It's
all like, this is the worst ending. It's not just a game over.
Oh wait, I guess now that we're back in the present, we can go back to a different costume. Yeah. Should we go back to the normal outfit?
Yes.
I guess probably.
No more of this Western nonsense.
Yeah, I know, right? Let me just go back to... Let's see who else we've got. What have we got for Afu?
We have Afu's pre-glow-up outfit.
I don't know. Let's just keep it, whatever. Oh, that's cute. Alright. I guess let's go for it. Oh. Person. I feel like they're gonna be important. Just the fact that they're, like, turned away.
Liang-sin. Liang-sin, that son of a bitch.
沈先生, 徐先生, 欢迎来金瓷书局.
They're like, that's right, we've been expecting you.
方寒秋.
方先生好。
通过你的电报，我们获知了佩罗镇事件的原委。
Through your telegram.
感谢二位查明了真相。
吕先生是一名出色的编辑，他的离世实在令人惋惜。
That other guy, who gives a shit?
你电报中提到罗世文对罗佩作品的贡献，我们也已于昨日登报说明。
Okay.
这样也算对吕先生有个交代。
毕城十分看重作者名誉，希望他泉下有知。
吕先生一定会很欣慰的。
雨越下越大，二位先请进，我们屋里说。
Don't you get any rice cakes, Shen?
沈先生这次来是要查一本书，不知书名是什么？
我也不知道确切的书名。
He's like, I've forgotten. It's been so long.
罗佩的斗士一阵对此书的情节有所借鉴。
What? A writer taking ideas from another book? Unheard of.
若要一份份查阅内容，耗费的时间会很长。
It would indeed take a long time, maybe even 30 straight minutes.
这件事说不定对找书有帮助。
If only we had some kind of easily searchable website that just like listed common tropes so you could cross-reference it. Sadly, we don't have this, so... Okay,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Lo Pei's, because we just established that Pi Cheng might have worked with the book, and she just said, "Oh, if we search through all of the stuff that Pi Cheng did, then I think that's just saying what we already know." I think it's got to be the timing of his visit, because it's like this would be a book that he came upon during the visit,
Yeah, I guess
so that
so.
narrows the time frame.
半年前，罗佩曾来书局拜访，他应该是在那个时候读到书稿的。
那次是我邀请罗佩来的，也带他去当房参观过，但我不清楚他翻阅过哪些存稿。
这件事
So it's
说不
the
定对找
part
书
of
有
the
帮助。
archives.
Let's try the others then.
吕先生离开扬
The
州前，
accusation.
有没有和您提过罗佩借鉴他人情节之事呢？
他只说有些事情要与罗佩当面核实，但并未说细节。
吕先生怎么会完全没提起过呢？
毕成是一个谨慎的人，在没有充分调查之前，他从不随便说话。
这件事说不定对找书有帮助。
Maybe it's
吕
just
先生
all
生
of
前的
them.
最后一段时间，都在忙哪些工作？有没有与存稿有关的？
非要说的话，毕成最近在花大力气重读过往的剧稿。
啊？已经拒绝的稿子为什么要重读呢？
此前书局并不重视侦探小说这一题材，很多的投稿都被拒了。但近年侦探小说日益受读者欢迎，毕成希望能从中发掘出更多才华横溢的作者。
也就是说，
Discovering new
有一些优
authors.
秀的侦探小说被埋没在剧稿中了。
正是
Some
如
good
此，
books that someone would turn down? Is that even
毕
possible?
成认为侦探小说的流行
Surely the
大有
publishing
裨益。
industry only produces the cream of the crop.
他展示了一种严密的逻辑思维模式，同时也鼓励大家去追求真相。
See, it's about good morals. Detective novels
对于
are
长
about
期受
good
八股文
morals.
束缚的读者而言，
And
这犹
that's
如沙
why
漠中的
loving
清
detective
泉。
novels doesn't make you a murderer.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no, it's facts.
吕先生在做的事，的确很有意义。
We lost
先
such a
生，
talent,
吕
and
先
then
生很可能
also
是在
that
读那剧
author
稿时
guy.
意识到罗佩书中的点子是抄的，所以他才会去找罗佩谈。
方先生，我们可以看看那些剧稿吗？
剧稿被送回当房了，我带你们去。
But this does prove a point
奇怪了，
from
毕成整理过的那批
that
剧稿
plagiarism
明
YouTube
明放在
essay.
此处啊！
People don't plagiarize from people they respect. They plagiarize from the people who they think they can get away with stealing from. So a rejected manuscript is perfect to steal from because these are just some nobodies. Who's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
notice?
Makes a lot of sense.
怎么不见了呢？
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
Who the heck is this?
A parrot.
Yeah, it's like...
哦，
Okay, close.
是那只鹦鹉在
It
说
is the
话。
parrot talking. We are gonna do the real Ace Attorney here.
Amazing. We better.
We better.
九儿乖乖，你吃完饭了吗？
Is that the
Oh,
girl or
hey,
the
hang on.
bird?
That's
What?
a familiar last name. First name?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
沈先生，
There might have
这
been a
位是当房
Q
管理员吴秀
somewhere.
丽，九儿
This is
是
the
他养的
parrot.
鹦鹉。
Okay. Let the parrot take the stand.
有什么需要帮忙的，尽可找他。秀丽，沈先生和阿福都是侦探，
They are both
他们来书局
equally
调查线索，
detectives.
我们尽力要协助。
侦探，破凶杀案的那种侦探。
He's like, yeah, we love those
I
around
mean,
here.
Yeah.
正是。
He's like, I have seen so much blood you don't even know. He's like, I don't even know how much blood I've seen
真的活的侦探，
because of those glasses.
活的，活的。嘿，其实我也是一名侦探小说家，笔名叫阿派。
哇，好厉害！
Nepotism, I see.
能拜读你写的书吗？
哎，我还在构思中。哎，你别说，
That's how you know she's actually a writer. They're like, can I read your writing? And she's like, no.
侦探来到书局当房，寻找失落的线索，摆在面前的却是成堆的书稿。
Is every detective novelist just constantly plagiarizing things? First, we've got that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle who stole everything from Shen. He invented Sherlock Holmes after Shen, and now this.
你这不是根本没开始写吗？
That's how it be sometimes.
吕先
It's
生
like
曾整理
that,
过一
yeah.
篇侦探小说的剧稿，秀丽姑娘可知放在何处？
Like your rejected
到目前
manuscripts?
还没有侦探小说这个单独的分类，只有话本小说、志怪小说、公案小说、武侠小说、言情小说。
I do like kung fu novels are their own
放在这
thing.
张桌子上。
Yeah, well, I would imagine they're popular there.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like legitimately
Well,
as a
yeah,
genre.
like it is a
Just like,
genre, yeah.
I appreciate that it's like, yes, it's its own genre.
Yep.
我花费了整整
They
2
were
天时
originally
间，
piled up
把每一本书
messily.
稿都有序归档了。花我，花我！
So it's like, does she work here? And the lady's like, no, actually.
大家的脸色好像不太好。
那沈先生想要查阅的话，只能去每个书架上。
Unless she happens to
一本找
remember where she put all of them.
完了，
Yeah.
完了！
无妨。阿福，我们就从最左侧的书架找起吧。
Literally just looking for anything that seems kind of mystery-like. Oh, jeez. They're literally reading everything.
Why does Shen look like he's been reading the same book the whole time, though?
He's a slow reader. Look, sometimes people just need to let things percolate, okay?
Oh my god, did they literally take every book off the shelves?
Yeah, this feels like I don't think the publishing house would let them do this
Yeah.
for any reason.
And also, like,
How
why are they
long did
literally
that-
pulling down
这
all
都已
of
发完了。
the books? Like, aren't they
What's that
just
you
looking for detective novels? Couldn't they just pull those out?
Yeah, you can rule some
What are they
out pretty
doing?
easily.
What are you people
This
doing?
is a very inefficient search, Shen. I hate to say it, but Sherlock Holmes would have known better.
“炒饭、油糕、牛皮糖，先生想想。”
So it took them half an hour to get through just Lo Shiwen's like crumpled paper manuscript stuff.
Yep.
And I bet they're gonna say that this happened within like a single day. I bet it has not been much longer than
Yeah,
that.
I think it's just been from that morning until evening. Fu is sound
Yeah.
asleep. Let's not wake him up. Alright. He looks so cute passed out back there with the little book pillow.
Snoring.
All
the
on
books.
this bookshelf have
We
been
just
reviewed.
took them off.
We're not even putting
They
them
let
back.
us do this. Ah! That was a
It's
jump
so
scare.
late. How could there be a child here? Let me have a look.
I was legitimately jump scared by that.
Ooh, I can't run. How did
You
I
can't
end up
outrun
back
this
here
child.
again? Huh.
It's magic.
Well, either
It's the
this
same
building
room.
goes in a loop, or this
Yeah.
area just looks exactly the same.
Or
Oh,
ghosts
Fu
are
has
real,
also
but
disappeared
only for this
somewhere.
case. Shen, this is just an identical room.
This does look different, though, because these shelves still have some books on them.
Yeah, they still have books. It's probably just an identically laid out room.
Yeah.
See, like, you can see there are other desks here.
Oh, and another one. And see, these
And
bookshelves
another
are
one,
full.
yeah.
Back once again.
Shen, I feel like your first
Yeah.
response should not be, I'm in the back rooms.
Confined room
Chapter
mystery.
5.
Chapter 5. I
I
like
think
how it's just on the background.
You know, that's cool. But I'm like, Shen, I feel like, your whole once you've eliminated the impossible thing, I feel like the most sensible solution should be this is a very large archive
Yeah.
with a boring layout.
Ooh. Shiny red book.
I wonder if it's the shiny red book.
The bookshelf is filled with books. There seems to be one book that appears different from the others.
It's red.
Grey's Anatomy. Oh. What do we want to... Maybe we want to do this one. No? Oh
I
god.
don't really see what
That's
about
terrifying.
it.
I think that's, yeah.
Okay.
是哥哥，
Is this meant to be child Shen, quote unquote?
你又拿了爹的烟枪，
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, child Brian.
在哪里？在哪里？
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay,
uh-oh.
this one's child. Yes, this is
Yeah,
child
this is child
Shen
Shen.
Shengping.
Yes.
别出声，我去应付。
爹，你在找什么？我钱呢？我钱呢？家里早就没钱了，东西也被你变卖光了。
Sad.
谁说没钱了？那个小兔崽子去哪儿了？李云的功劳。
He's like,
过
Yeah.
几天就
Theater,
来
oh
见
god.
yeah, I
You're like
was
selling off your child.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it was going to go to, I will literally sell this child.
Yeah,
So
that's so sad.
谁要太听话，跟男人
I'm
学
I'm thinking there is a
那可不是梦
decent
到钱。
chance that it's going to turn out to be the mysterious thing that happened to Shen's dad is just that Brian killed him to protect Shen, and he's having a
Could
trauma
be.
about it.
Yeah.
你疯了！养了你们那么多年，也该尽孝了。
I feel like that's not how filial piety works.
Oh god, terrifying.
原来躲在这里。
That you are too close, sir.
快跑！
Wait, who is that? Oh god!
Yeah. Oh no, this really is the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's terrifying. Please do not do that. Do I have... Hey!
I think it literally is the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I literally think you have to be
Yeah.
moving around the obstacles.
I guess do I have to do the
I was-
autosave?
Autosave, yeah.
Alright. Hang on.
Hopefully it'll be pretty close.
Okay, what are the actual controls
Yeah.
here? Up and down? What up and down are you talking about? Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh god,
up and
no.
down.
That's that is on the same hand. Please do not make me do that. Okay, hang on. Okay. Oh, shit.
Damn, not that.
Okay. Alright, how do I do this?
So, Shen's been drugged, right?
Oh! How long does this shit go for?
Until we go to our mind palace and find out the...
Oh, we did it.
Okay. He might have also... I was gonna say the other possibility
Yeah,
is
that he did it himself. Yeah.
Shen killed his dad, but like...
Wardrobes again!
Probably that was just an accident.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I guess Shen is our Miles.
郑平，
And there's the imaginary friend. It's so sad.
Imaginary
Poor smart child.
Our Shadow Shen.
Yeah, so I guess Shadow Shen has been around for a long time.
Been there for a while. He's like, you thought your trauma was just your brother? Idiot.
Yeah.
不让我进来的话，我只好变戏法给别人看喽。
哦，
哦
你，先闭上眼睛。可以睁开了。喜欢吗？
The Big Bird, it's a
这是吟
magic
诗法，
trick.
可以在黑暗中发出荧光。郑平，
So
你听
what
过
does
小
that
猴
have
子
to
的
do
故
with
事吗？
candles?
嗯，
一天晚上，一只小猴子在水塘边玩耍，它看到了水中的月亮，便伸手去触碰。水面泛起了涟漪，月亮在涟漪中消失了。小猴子很震惊，以为自己把月亮打碎了。
Oh no, how could you?
其实
How could you?
那只是月亮在水中的倒影。
So
月
you
亮消
see,
失
it was actually
是
the
因为它被
reflection of
云
our
遮住
father
了
who you killed.
郑平，那件事自始至终都不是你的错。
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Like,
即使
my
乌云遮蔽了整个天空，
interpretation of what went down is that, like, the father was running at Shen to do a harm to this small child.
Yeah.
And he just shattered his head against the wall because he was so intent on doing harm to the small child. And Shen's like, nah, this is all my fault. I gotta develop a split personality about it. And Brian's
Yeah.
like, no, man. No. Does Brian have a Chinese
哥
name?
哥最近找到一个方法，
Presumably,
说不定能治
but
好你的失语
maybe
症。
we're not gonna find out until the end or
We-
something.
We've never...
Aphasia.
Ooh, aphasia. Okay. So...
Wait,
that
what
one's
is
gonna be
that?
not talking?
Maybe because he hasn't been talking this whole time.
Yeah. And maybe this is where Brian is like, what if there was another version of you that was comfortable talking and could just like help you out with this?
Yeah.
In your mind palace. Yeah, so the father is definitely dead at this point.
Yeah.
And or mysteriously vanished.
我看到一
quote
本医学
unquote.
杂志上说，人遭遇过度惊吓时，
Because of how nice and pleasant everything
导
looks.
致舌骨脱位，无法说话。
That's how he knew. Because he did mention that he was like, oh, I like once experienced something similar or something.
若用镊子将舌骨正位，
Yeah, he's
便
like,
可
I'm
恢
not
复
a doctor, but...
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you shouldn't do that though, Brian. I feel like Shen shouldn't have been doing it to a Fu
那些
either,
大夫都说
but
你再也不可能说话了。但哥哥不会放弃，
did those doctors not know about the hyoid bone
可以让我
thing?
试试。
I don't know.
Brian's just like, I'm inventing state-of-the-art medical care. I'm gonna do experimental surgery on my little brother. Like, this is very heartwarming and all, but there is maybe a reason. There's maybe a reason he got looped into this weird experimental study stuff. He might have had some loose morals to start with.
很好，
哥哥，疼！
This is why I don't think you should be doing experimental surgery on
如
your
果无
brother.
法释放或治愈，可能会分裂出不同的自我，以避免面对内心矛盾。
Yeah, okay. So
这
PTSD.
是人出于自我保护的本能所构建的心理防御机制之一。
So I wonder if this is one of those things where he's
sure-
just like talking about something that's totally not relevant, except it is, or if he's literally saying that because like he knows about Shen's like
It's like,
alternate personality.
yeah, I'm not aware of the timeline at which people started actually studying DID or OSDD. So like, I'm not 100% clear whether this is fitting with the game's timeline.
Well, clearly it's something that he knows about, so I think
Yeah.
even if it wasn't historically
Ryan.
accurate, he knows somehow.
Brian.
你在看什么书？
What are
Oh
you
no,
reading?
he's just
A completely
coincidentally
unrelated thing.
reading about it, yeah.
Yeah.
弗洛伊德的梦的解析。
Ah, Freud, of
这本
course.
书
Oh,
介绍
was
了
that a
心理
thing
疾病
that
的发病
Freud
原理。
proposed?
I don't know.
Huh.
心理疾病。
我想了解鸦片成瘾的心理原因，进而探索出治疗之法。
Yeah.
Okay, so he was doing research on opium,
难怪哥哥最近都在看医学书
and
籍。
that probably had to do with the study where everything went wrong.
Yeah.
如今鸦片泛滥，
Yeah.
不仅我们家深受其害，更有千万
Yeah.
家庭身在苦海。
Yeah.
Yeah.
可市面上不是已经有戒烟药了吗？
市面上的戒烟药大多是鱼目混珠的补药，价格昂贵，
Hmm.
却收效甚微。
因此，哥哥想找到真正有效的治疗法。
我在弗洛伊德的一篇文章中了解到一种叫高科的植物。弗洛伊德
I
用
feel
它
like
的
you
提
really
取
should not be
来治疗抑
trusting
郁症的疾病
Freud for.
Yeah, I guess maybe they
I
don't
know-
know better at this time.
Oh, yeah, no, at the time, it's like this was the, you know, he was the guy. It's
Yeah.
only afterwards that we're like, yeet.
如果这个药能帮助戒烟瘾，那爹的悲剧便不会再重演了。
Alright, are we back to reality yet?
Yeah,
Just black
so
void.
like,
Oh.
哥哥，还要等到什么时候啊？钓鱼好无聊。
I wonder if Shen just like fell asleep reading all these books.
possible, but I'm not gonna rule out literally he got slip drugs. Like, part of a scheme happened and he got caught in
Possible.
it. And it's like...
Like, we didn't explicitly see him eat or drink anything, but it's still possible.
We didn't.
哥哥，第二波跑了。
He's learned his lesson about the rice cakes.
鱼
Yep.
儿抓口时不着急提干，耐心等一等。大鱼上钩时会有明显的异沉。
是一条桂鱼。
Baby Shen is so cute. Look at him jump.
回家，今晚哥哥做清蒸桂鱼。
太好了，有鱼吃喽！
俄国的北部毗邻北极，终年积雪。
Just sit in front of a pile of books.
每天都是冬天，也太冷了。有没有永远是夏天的地方？
阿非利加州的以南地当赤道，沿河荒漠。
哥哥，你要去学医的地方在哪里？
在这儿，英国的首都，伦敦。
London. I like the way that it's said. It's like, yeah, that's... I recognize that word.
两位公子的才华世间罕见，尤其是12公子，年纪轻轻就获得了
Especially
公派留学资格
especially the little brother.
今日为二位留影纪念。
And you've grown up to be approximately the same
大
height.
展宏图，大显身手，大有所为。本照相馆也能跟着沾光。
Really? Sure.
Celebrity
That's how it
photos.
works.
Yep.
Well.
哥哥，
And murder time.
究竟是谁害了你？
Why are we
Whoever could
walking
it
in
have been?
walking in a black void? That's an excellent question.
Okay,
We are
so
having flashbacks. Oh,
either
we are still
really
having
trippy-
flashbacks.
Oh no, we're still in the void.
Oh boy.
I guess this does introduce how we're going to re-examine the crime scene if we're here. I'm also gonna note Afu continues not to be present.
Yep. Why is the door glitching? That's very concerning. Oh god.
这是你第几次回到这里？
We're back to the beginning.
The beginning of the game. Yes, we are in the time loop. We entered the Sonic the Hedgehog time loop.
Yes.
第1120。
We can't
Oh,
escape it.
we've been keeping count,
Oh.
huh?
Yeah, that's
3年，
his job.
几乎每个夜晚你都在这里，
Almost every night.
但你
There was
仍
that
然
one
找
time
不到
when a
他。
different guy died.
而随着时间的流逝，你的记忆正在消退。
别妨碍我。
He's like,
Interesting. So I
we
wonder
have a
if
contentious relationship.
I wonder if that means he's like repressing some kind of memory. And he's like
Yeah, it's
blaming
like-
Shadow Shen for that.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, Shen's probably got a really good alibi by being in America.
Yeah, like I don't think
So-
it was him, but
I don't think
Yes,
it was
it's
him.
possible
Wouldn't
that-
make sense.
there's something that some other kind of clue or information that could be valuable, but
Yeah.
is also
'cause it's like-
associated with like that trauma.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm like, okay, we have a setup for Shen's father almost certainly died by clonking his head on a wall while trying to do harm to baby Shen while high on opium. That is probably what happened.
Yeah.
And Shen, it would make sense for Shen to have trauma about that. Like, you know, doing the Ace Attorney comparisons, it's very Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for him to have this sort of like Ooh, what are you blocking out? Don't you remember about that?
Mm-hmm.
But for his brother, it doesn't make as much sense unless you're like looking at the through line of, I guess Shen's guilty feelings could be tied into the fact that his father was addicted to opium and Brian's research was probably about opium addiction. And maybe they're related, so maybe he feels guilt in that respect.
Mm.
But it is strange that Shen's like, what are you hiding from me, Shadow Self?
Yeah.
Because the Shadow Self was
我一定会
like
查明哥哥遇害的真
there
相。
in the closet, being like, I'm good, like I'm comforting you,
Yeah.
imaginary friend style, but doesn't seem to have become an active presence until after Brian's death.
Yeah.
那你可得抓紧时间了。
Oh. He's back.
He's back.
We seemingly can't talk to him, though.
We can't talk to him.
I have already observed this place. Should we take another look?
Well, I have to
I
assume
guess.
that we should, yes. It's alright, Shen. It was some manner of contraption.
An asbestos mesh with burn marks on it. The asbestos in the middle has been replaced with wax. Ah, man, it's been a while since we did this. I don't even remember what the deal was with the mesh.
Well, we hadn't found out yet. We left that investigation with a lot of questions.
Yeah, but we had
course,
some theories on some of the things.
Yeah, I was proposing that it was some manner of contraption. Something to do with like there were candles on the floor, which aren't here in the memory right now, but there were candles on the floor. And that's very much a way to make some kind of time-delayed mechanism that, like, burns up and doesn't leave a lot of evidence. There was on the ceiling, in the skylight.
Yeah, there were, like, some burn marks there. There was...
burn stuff.
Yeah. Many paper ashes scattered around the chair. And on my brother's body as well. My brother was murdered on Ghost Festival Day, also the anniversary of her father's death.
Okay, that could be why there's like it must be connected to that.
The only key to the room was found grasped in my brother's left hand at the time of death. There were only my brother's fingerprints on the key.
Now, I am gonna note that, like, it's not hard to make another key. So many locked room mysteries are just like, what if they just copied the key?
There were deep claw marks
what if
on
they
the chair
borrowed
legs,
it from the landlord?
along with slight traces of blood. An unburned scrap of paper, made of oiled paper. I don't know, is there anything else for us to look at here?
Did you look at the bloodstain on the chair?
Not letting me click on things.
So it looks like
But
you
anyway,
can
we don't
actually
have like
close...
we don't have like a progress thing or anything. So
yeah, they
I
stopped
think...
doing the progress bar.
Oh!
Well, that wasn't there
Police
before.
office. Interesting. We'll save that for later. The skylight is very high, needing a ladder to reach it, and it has been locked from the inside.
They were also like, it's full of so much rust that it couldn't have been.
The glass has a thick layer of accumulated dust, and there are no traces of being touched. The police speculate that Brian caused the window scorch marks and experiments.
Okay, I definitely want to check out the rest of this before we go into the police office.
Yeah. A book has been taken from the desk.
Yep.
However, it cannot be determined if it was missing before or after the incident. Well, if we determine how the ink was spilled, then
Yeah.
maybe we can figure out that the book must have been there. A photo of my brother with his classmates, taken by Joseph. I wonder if we're gonna meet the classmates at some point, if they're gonna be relevant somehow.
Was Stone Wu or Toby Chang just kind of outside?
One person in the photo is Stone Wu, and the other person is Toby Chang. There are 7 candles on the floor, arranged in the shape of the Big Dipper. Each candle has been firmly fixed to the floor with wax. 2 of the candles have a shallow scratch on their sides.
Oh, finally, I get to say things. This is... We were doing gumshoe voice.
Yeah.
This is the telegraph machine on the table, pal. There are traces of it being used on that day. The Morse code paper reel we found should be fitted in the hexagonal area on its tab. Other than that, no other abnormalities were found on the machine. Get back into voice. So the paper was missing, which is important. Also a way to set off a contraption.
There is a small stool placed between the desk and the candle arrangement. The stool is very small, with a height of less than 20 centimeters. What was originally inside this white circle?
A roll of Morse code paper strip, which we took as evidence.
So, you found it on the ground.
Aye, that's right. I suspect it fell from the Morse code telegraph machine.
Does it have any content on it?
Aye, it's all telegrams from Mr. Bell, Joseph's father, the son of Alexander Graham Bell. We've checked the contents, discussing the development of a certain drug. Nothing suspicious.
During the incident, from 1:40 to 2:30 p.m., cafe staff heard constant phonograph sounds. They were playing the Peking Opera 7-Star Lamp. I've already observed the items on the lab bench. Take another look. Yeah, let's just refresh our memory.
Might be... Yeah, I think this is basically like here to...
Yeah, I don't think you need to investigate any of this. You just, yeah. Just a little refresher.
Little refresher.
A dismantled kerosene lamp on the table. Several long cotton threads soaked in the kerosene bottle. A small brush inside. A stack of oil paper on the table. Each sheet is large and thin. Various chemicals and reagents placed on the lab bench. Among them, there are aspirin, cocaine, and trichloromethane. Test tubes contain powdered herbal medicines such as Sephora flavescens and Angelica sinensis. That's the same thing, I think. Toxicology tests indicate that the death of my brother is not related to Strike 9.
Which is suspicious.
Very suspicious. There could be various underlying causes for his body contortion.
Yeah, as the detective said, he could have stubbed his toe.
Oh, no!
Look, they really want you to memorize all of these. They're going to be important for the next debate round.
I think this is everything?
Yeah. The strychnine was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Trophies, laboratory equipments, pharmaceutical books, and wax cylinders placed on a cabinet. Currently, no special findings have been made. Alright, did we miss anything? I think we got everything.
Yeah.
Police office. Is there something else?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
think
can't
it's
go
just
to
the
that
police
door
office.
because in his bedroom was where we found the notes about, like, oh, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it.
Memory isn't pleasant.
Ooh.
Do you want to proceed? Let's do a save.
Yeah. So when we investigated this, yeah, because we didn't actually see his body in the chair, right?
No,
That would have
we
been
did not.
grim. Yeah, that would have been like a really dark.
Alright.
So probably this is when he's
Let's go.
seeing the corpse. He's like identifying it at the morgue.
This is all the case files here. You can take your time reviewing here. I'll go get the paperwork ready for your signature.
It's finally coming to an end. He's like, don't say that right in front of him. He's right there, Officer Gumshoe.
Alright, there's a bunch of case files. Let's take a look. Police interrogation transcripts. The subjects being Toby Cheng, Mr. Bell, and Mrs. Cheng. Do we want to try to actually read these? I think the game will tell us anything that's important.
Oh, yeah. There was
Okay,
no
let's-
argument. Someone with malicious intentions is trying to
Here
smear
we
my
go.
name. Okay, good.
Whose transcript do you
Whew.
want to read?
Officer, I am a distinguished graduate of UCL. How could I possibly commit murder?
There's competition between ye and the victim, Brian Shen. Besides, you were the last one to see him before Brian returned to the apartment.
I did see him, but you can't condemn me as guilty just because I saw him, right?
Whether you're deemed guilty depends on your answers to the following questions.
Alright, let's just go one by one.
On the day
Yep.
of Brian's death, August 15th, someone claims to have seen you two arguing.
We had no argument. It must be someone trying to smear my name. I can explain that. At 9 a.m. that morning, I was going to the Wandsworth Library to borrow books, passing by Pimlico. I saw Brian coming out of Mr. Bell's office building.
Mhm.
I greeted him, but he pretended not to hear.
So, I remember
I was
the
angry.
symptoms
I
of
grabbed him to
strychnine.
confront and discuss the situation.
One of them was like twitching of the facial muscles, which is why strychnine victims often look like they're smiling.
Yeah.
What if one of them is hearing?
Could be. I think
It
we
could
need
be
to
like it could
know
also
more.
be he's distracted because of
Yeah.
whatever they were talking about.
Yeah, he
He's-
clearly had shit going on.
Just because you greeted him and he did not respond?
Not exactly. Mr. Bell's research project should be mine. He stole
Uh.
it away.
Making a great case for yourself, buddy.
I have no quarrel or motive to hurt him, but also he stole my research.
Yeah.
He not only shamelessly took my project, but also deliberately ignored me. Wasn't that infuriating?
Dude.
So you got into an argument with him over that?
I didn't. He seemed
He's like, yeah,
absent-minded,
objection.
not responding as if he couldn't hear what I was
Okay,
saying.
no, see, that's strychnine.
Yeah, something's going on.
Later, someone looked away, so I let him go. There was no argument at all.
Whether you're deemed guilty depends on your answers. Where were you between 1 and 3 in the afternoon that day? And what were you doing?
I spent the entire afternoon studying at the library. then returned to the lab in the evening.
Is there someone who can vouch for your whereabouts?
The librarian named George can testify for me.
Whether you're deemed guilty depends on your answers to the following questions.
Someone's using a strict definition of argument, yeah.
You ken of others who might bear a grudge against Brian?
I wouldn't know. I'm usually focused on my academic pursuits and don't mind others' business.
Yeah, he seems like he's
like,
a little...
I'm a good student.
Yeah.
Mr. Cheng, please cooperate with our work.
I really don't know. Only one time I overheard him having a heated argument with Stone Wu.
What's the relationship between Stone Wu and Brian Shen? Do you ken why they had an argument?
They are friends. Stone often borrowed money from Brian. Their argument might be related to money, but I'm not so sure about specifics. But I heard Stone recently made a fortune. Moreover,
Suspicious?
he hurriedly returned to China the day before Brian's incident. Definitely fishy.
But it makes it hard for him to be the murderer unless he had the aid of some sort of contraption.
Yeah.
We'll verify. Whether you're deemed guilty depends on
Alright, I
your
guess
answers
that's
to
all.
the following question.
Watson Bell.
So we don't have a transcript for Stone Wu because he's in
Mr.
China.
Bell.
Yeah, presumably.
Sorry for the trouble.
Mr.
After
Bell.
all, Brian was a researcher. in
Look
the
at that
project I
magician-ass
funded and
motherfucker.
a friend of Joseph's.
That voice is great, though.
That is a
I will
voice.
do everything I can to
A
bring
friend
the
of
truth to light.
Joseph's. I'm
This
definitely
funding
not the
project
killer.
is about opium cessation drugs.
Yeah. There we go.
Opium cessation medication is one of Watson Pharmacy's core businesses.
But they're all
We have always
placebos.
placed a strong emphasis on research and development in this
Okay,
area.
so he specifically runs the pharmacy,
Yeah.
and wasn't fucking Robinson. That was his position. He was the pharmacist, right? At the place.
Well, not. You mean at the ironworks?
At the ironworks.
Yeah, no, well, he wasn't exactly a pharmacist. He was just like the laboratory researcher. He's working on like...
Okay, I could have sworn at one point they called him a pharmacist.
I don't think so. I think he was working on steel stuff.
He could be a chemist, but you know, Robinson is obviously involved because he's he was here.
Yeah.
In fact, the person we initially funded wasn't Brian, but his
Ooh.
classmate, Toby
Well,
Cheng.
I guess we heard a little bit about that. Why did they take him
Yeah,
off
we
the
did.
project?
Toby had lofty ambitions,
Ah,
but little
I see.
progress after 6 months.
And if you haven't solved opium addiction in 6 months, like what are you even doing in science?
Yeah.
That should
Joseph
be easy.
introduced me to Brian. He was facing pressure from the Sassoon family due to his
The
research.
Sassoon family.
Are they gonna be important? Who the heck is
The
that?
Sassoon family.
The Sassoons benefit greatly from the
Ooh.
opium trade. They will by no means stand idly by.
Gross.
So that
When I
definitely
saw
does
his
fit
research
Oh,
with
there's
it
real
only
people then?
strengthened
Shady
my
guys.
determination to support him.
following him.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's who killed him because it was obviously Joseph and Watson. And also they're the ones who could have poisoned him with strychnine in specific. So maybe
Also,
they
the
were
reason
working with
Brian
the
studied
Sassoons and
pharmacy
Joseph
the
Quite possibly,
or
yeah.
Joseph Brian found out
developed
about it.
opium cessation medication
He's
was
like, yeah, I know all
because
his dirty
family
secrets.
was ruined and devastated by opium. I
It
believe
wasn't a
he's
pleasant
the most
ruination, it was a
suitable
devastating
person to
one.
carry
Yep.
out this research.
Hmm.
I will do everything I can to bring the truth to light.
Someone hear you having an argument with Brian in the office on the morning of August 15th?
At 9 a.m. that morning, I had arranged to meet Brian for coffee to talk his recent conditions.
Oh, really? Coffee?
she been
Coffee with a little
ferrying
side of strychnine, maybe?
The research faced some difficulties, and Brian
Yeah,
was
definitely
feeling
curious
quite down
what
about it.
happened with that.
I am
Yeah,
Something
'cause we
clearly
got
went
a
horribly
whole-
wrong.
suddenly became very
Yeah, it was like,
So we
oh,
ended the
great
conversation.
success, how amazing. Immediately followed up by, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't like his usual self. I intended to talk to him someday later, but
How long has he been in this condition?
in fact, during that period, his condition was quite worrisome. He became
That
very
period?
pessimistic. In
Setting
hindsight,
things
I
up
should
for,
have kept
I
him a
guess
bit
he really
longer.
did do
I
suicide. I guess it was suicide, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing anyone could...
I will do everything I can to bring the truth.
Where were ye between 1 and 3 in the afternoon on that day?
There was a pharmaceutical industry seminar that
He didn't need to be anywhere.
Yeah.
It was already done.
It was some manner
I
of
was
contraption.
The contraption was set up. The poison was administered. It was all done.
Understood. Your
Now-
alibi is solid.
If I
For now,
recall
that's all.
correctly, Watson was the one who called the police
Yes.
saying there's been an issue?
Saying there's been a murder.
Yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
the question was it Watson or Joseph? Because
Pretty sure
whoever
it was Watson, yeah.
whoever it was saying that they were in the restaurant across the way, so they looked through the big windows and they saw it happen.
Yes. That's true,
So-
yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good point. I think it was
so
him.
I mean the thing is, yeah, if it was Watson who did that, that could be where the seminar was being held. You know, big restaurant. We got to get a bunch of
that
hungry
would be a
pharmaceutical
weird.
people. But like,
that would be a weird place to hold a seminar, but I guess not impossible.
it could be a future contradiction.
Yeah, absolutely, it's possible.
Your alibi is solid.
Officer,
I do
may I
feel
add
like
a
if
few
Watson was the
more
one who
details?
called it in, it'd be like, hey, okay, well, I'm volunteering information.
Yes.
Oh, look at me non-suspiciously volunteering information. Aren't
Yeah.
I such a cooperative witness?
Yep. It's totally accurate and not a lie. Anyway, what were you saying?
So yeah, maybe this is where he's like, I saw it happen and this is why I thought it was a homicide at the time. Because I think that would be an important follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, of course. Please go ahead.
Brian's research on opium cessation medication touched upon the interests of certain groups.
The Sassoons.
I don't want this case to be overly influenced by external factors affecting police judgment.
Oh, he's like,
nice
I don't
and all,
trust the
but I'm not-
police.
I'm not sure what you think you can do about it, buddy.
Yeah.
I also trust
I'm
that
a
the
very
details of the
important
case be kept
pharmaceutical man,
confidential.
so you'd better listen to me.
Aye.
I get
aye.
to boss the cops around.
I will do everything I can to bring
Okay,
the
I guess
truth
that's
to
all
light.
we've got for him.
Son of a bitch.
You police, let bad guys go. Bother this old lady instead.
Mrs. Chang, I brought you in for questioning because on that day you were...
Only one at scene? Suspect me as murderer just like that? Which fool would murder in their own home?
Yeah, she's
Mrs.
like, if I did it, I would have been way clearer
Yeah.
about it. You never would have
Ridiculous.
known.
There
I'd
is
have
stop
dissolved
ruining
that
my
body in
medicine,
acid.
Curing illness, extending life?
I'll try to keep it brief. Where were ye between 1 and 3 in the afternoon on that day?
You ask where I was? It was Hungry Ghost Festival. Taboo to go out that day.
That's
What happened
that's
to
new
Brian?
information. That's interesting.
Soak up sun, dispel bad energy. Been sitting in front of house sunning myself.
So, it's possible that if part of the contraption involved setting up, like, stuff that Brian would have done of his own volition, like the phonograph and everything, and then triggered with a telegram, then they could. The reason this happened on Hungry Ghost Festival might have been because they're aware of something that Brian does on the anniversary of his father's death.
It could be, yeah.
Like, oh man, okay, here's a fucked up thought. What if the thing that Shen is intentionally forgetting is that he sent Brian a telegram on the day of that because, like, shared day of tragedy.
Oh no.
And the whole contraption was set up so that
that would be sad.
Such thing, or like they planned for it or something, or in some way Shen feels like he is responsible for that because he put those pieces together.
Oh no. Yeah.
Shadow Shen's just like, you dumb idiot, I'm saving you from yourself here.
You foreigners understand or not? On that day, Ghost Gate opens. Avoid going out.
I wonder if that's gonna be relevant for stuff. Because, like, I feel like Brian wouldn't necessarily be that into following those traditions.
Yeah,
but I wonder if some of the others, like,
yeah, the
like
other
the classmate
suspects.
And whatever else would be doing something for that.
Like,
I don't know.
Stone Wu apparently went back to China like the day after or something. So maybe
I think he
like
went
something...
before.
Oh, right,
so he was
right.
like already
before.
on his way.
You're right. He was
China.
gone. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
What's it? So, the last time we were around there, it was mentioned because the Scottish Inspector Gumshoe said that he thought that the candles were like some kind of Eastern ritual for the Ghost Day, and Shen's like, my brother didn't really do that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try to keep it brief. During that time, did anyone else enter?
Of course not. No one comes in without my permission. No one's getting in any day. Besides you police, who else likes barging into others' homes?
Yeah.
Did anyone else think it might
It's almost like a cop did this.
Yes, 2 guys tracking Brian. They've been staring at my house.
Aye, we've spoken to folk across the road, and nobody's laid eyes on the pair you mentioned.
That's suspicious.
That is
James
suspicious.
and Mary from the cafe next door said the same. Are you?
I'm sure I didn't see wrong.
I'll try to keep it brief.
Okay.
No further questions. Now all we have are the appendices.
Yeah, we're done with these.
I won't look anymore. Oh, no, shit, okay. So, Shen's like, this isn't a good memory, so I was expecting him to go, like, directly into the morgue.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
I think we're getting to it gradually, yeah.
We're getting to it. But we've got a lot of reading to do beforehand.
Yep.
And, like, whew.
Yep, it's a lot of reading. This is an
Shen's like, this isn't a pleasant memory. I had to read
so many papers.
Yep. He's like, I never want to read that many things in an investigation into my brother's death ever again.
Yeah.
And that's why he's having this trauma nightmare.
Like we
now.
said, he's
like,
a
oh,
slow
no.
reader, especially probably in English.
Reading. Okay.
Police conducted an investigation of each suspicious individual. They all had alibis. Oh, interesting that I think that's the landlady listed as Karen Chang. So I guess they're using her English name too.
Yep.
It's a locked room, and the only key was in Brian's hand, which led to the conclusion of suicide. That's Sergeant
Wait,
Joseph's
it said when
urging.
reported, by whom reported, it said
Yeah, it said
telegram
anonymous. Yeah. Weird.
That's not true.
At Sergeant Joseph's urging, the police conducted several additional rounds of investigation. Actually, do we have the original? Oh yeah, I think we have all the evidence. Oh, I guess this was anonymous.
Really?
Oh, maybe we like
Is it
determined
not-
looking at the other telegraphs or something.
So
Huh.
I
weird.
have a pretty vivid recollection that it was one of the Bells who noted it, because
Yeah, I remember
we
it
were
being
like,
Bell Senior. I don't remember why.
that's suspicious as all get out. So it could be anonymous in the police report because Joseph is cleaning it up. You know?
I think maybe he like came forward later and was like, yeah, I was the one who sent this, in which case that could be a lie. But I don't remember why I had that impression.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, weird.
Hang on, do we have in our facts, do we have a thing on strychnine?
That's a good question. Let's take a look. I guess that would be in knowledge, probably? Yeah, there it is.
Probably strychnine.
Symptoms include restlessness, twitching of facial and neck muscles, followed by severe muscle spasms throughout the body. Death
Okay, so they don't say... They don't say anything about being out of it mentally.
Yeah.
So maybe he was drugged with something else.
Yeah, could be some more going on. The police visited places that Brian frequented, such as St. Mary's Hospital, Savage Restaurant. However, no conclusive evidence was found that could overturn the aforementioned conclusion. Here is attached a layout map of Auntie Cheng's house,
In
as
the
well as
last
photographs of the
page,
crime
they
scene.
noted that the hospital suffered a fire.
That's
so that
true.
is the
That was
hospital
mentioned.
fire from the conspiracy board.
Shall I recall the situation at the crime scene again? Oh, is that just like going back to investigating the crime scene? In which case, I don't think we need to. I mean, I guess let's just take a quick peek, see if it's...
Okay, yeah. It will send us back
that,
there.
That just brings us back here.
Yeah, okay. It's like we're in my mind palace. I can do whatever I want.
Did we finish everything here?
Yeah, I guess we can run through.
Wait, hang on. That time, I think they just said the hospital and not the restaurant. Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's it for that. This is the autopsy record of Brian. And the autopsy was personally conducted by Joseph.
Joseph. No strychnine found, so we say. Hang on. A recently healed wound on the dorsum of the right foot. That was definitely it. General opisthotonus.
What the hell does that mean?
I think that was the thing where it's like curled back so that the head is nearing the feet. I think that's the posture. But yes, okay, I just checked on the stream and you're right. They just said St. Mary's Hospital that time. So that's weird.
Very weird.
We're watching his memory degrade in real time.
Oh god. The report mentions it can be inferred that the time of death was between 2 and 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, they have a very precise time of death on the main thing, though. Probably because of when the telegram reported it.
Yeah,
but what if the telegram was a lie in the first place?
Yeah, it could be. The victim died from hemorrhagic shock caused by a weapon piercing the left pulmonary artery. Body in a contorted position, suspicion of strychnine poisoning, but no toxins were detected. Bruisings on fingertips with wood shavings in the nail folds. Healed wound on right foot.
So at least the fact that it's healed.
I think at some point they mentioned, that maybe he'd gotten tetanus from that.
Maybe he was just tetanus, is all.
Yeah. No other injuries
People
were found.
with tetanus die like this all the time.
No signs of probing wounds.
Wax strips found on the clothes. So like a candle on the ceiling, yeah. Burning down.
In addition, paper ashes found on the body, and wax strips found on the clothes. Okay. On the afternoon when my brother was murdered, Toby Cheng was studying in the library. The library administrator, George, confirmed that Toby Cheng had a clear alibi. The appendix of the case file shows the police's investigation on Stone Wu. Stone Wu is a close friend of Brian, and it is said that they had a heated argument in the past.
So, something that I just want to note, which is interesting about this case, is I'm not sure how we go about confronting the culprit. Like, we've had in each of the past situations, we've had like a judge or a similar authority figure where it's like, yes, we can hold them to account for this. But I'm not sure how that happens for a murder that took place in a different country 3 years ago. And also, most of the suspects are not here. Like, Joseph's in China. So, that's convenient for us, but...
Stone Wu suddenly left the UK the day before Brian's death. The police were unable to reach him. That is very suspicious.
Yeah.
It's like, surely the culprit couldn't have, like I'm trying to figure out when the culprit could have set up the whole contraption. Like, surely they couldn't have set it up the day before, because, like, Brian would have been in his house and noticed it, you know?
Maybe, though. It was in his workroom. And if you knew for a fact he wasn't going into his workroom until a certain point, you might be able to do it.
That's a good point, because the other thing is that the landlady was, like, standing guard the entire morning. So I don't know when else they could have gotten in. So maybe like, honestly, them setting it up the day before would make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes me, like, I still think, you know, it was the Bells that killed him.
Our really suspicious British friends.
This guy could have been involved somehow, and that's why he ran away.
Yeah, it's
like that just seems like
going
something. Yeah,
there's some.
It's got to mean
conspiracy.
Something. It's not just that he was totally uninvolved and just happened to leave the day before.
It's like, look, it was just a really messy breakup with bad timing. It happens.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna flee to China now. Bye.
No one knows why he suddenly left, but this also serves as an alibi. The departure record in the appendix led the police to exclude him as a suspect. Wait.
Shit.
Date of departure September 23rd. What?
Well, that's not that's not the date.
Correct at all.
That's not the fucking date.
What? Or no, maybe it was like it departed from. No, that doesn't make sense.
So yeah, a lot of this actually looks really wrong. Wherebound New York, which is not
doesn't seem right at all.
Where he was going.
Also, does that say 1970? It's really in the future.
That could be a 2. That could be like, I can't see it as clearly as you can, but like it could be a 2.
I wonder if this is just like a scan of like a real document that they're using as like a representation of this.
I would really hope not, because this is the kind of game where the details are really important.
This is very weird. This is super weird.
My money's on Paula. Anybody who writes her name that big has something to hide.
Weird. super weird.
So the thing that I am gonna say is possible, because like we have noticed a few weird discrepancies that could just be accidents, but like the looping dialogue, it doesn't really make sense that it would exclude the restaurant for one of them and not for the other.
Yeah, that was strange.
That was weird. And we've got this, and I'm gonna note where-bound New York.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be where Shen was going? Like, I think he was studying literally in Boston, but maybe he started in New York and just went down there.
Yeah, it's possible that, you know, maybe you need to transfer ships or something. Or, like, take the ship to New York and, like, go to Boston by train or whatever.
He's blending what happened, maybe.
Yeah.
This is people embarked at the port of Liverpool. So, like, from England there, but I don't know. Okay.
Auntie Cheng said that she sat at the gate all afternoon. Coffee shop staff confirmed this is fact. Auntie Cheng mentioned brewing herbal medicine herself. Upon investigation, she was found to have a fatal illness, with only 1 year at most to live. Well, that's sad.
Well, that's depressing.
She's probably gone by now.
That's depressing.
Oh. This is the Morse code paper reel Officer Jones found at the crime scene. The center of the paper reel has a hexagonal groove. One end of the paper tape has been folded over, forming a strange bend.
Like a loop for a contraption, perhaps.
Yeah. But it like, from what we see here, it doesn't appear to be, like, attached like that. It's just kind of folded over. But
if the whole thing was, like, attached by, like, strings that were burning up, it could be one of those self-disposing contraptions.
The inner side of the paper tape is quite dirty and shows signs of wear and tear. The paper strip is filled with dots and lines, which are Morse code. The police have successfully deciphered the telegrams.
Yeah.
Here are 5 telegrams from Mr. Bell to my brother, starting 2 weeks before the incident. Adjusted medication proven effective in small trials. Congratulations. That was 10 days before. Not your fault.
Not your fault.
No need to blame yourself. This was 5 days before.
Yeah.
Drug development, challenging path. Keep going. I believe success awaits. So on that same day. Optimism needed. Assistance offered any time. Stay positive.
Hang on just a second.
Yep.
Okay, the phrasings I think are very short because telegrams you had to like pay by the letter.
Yep.
So I'm just like
but
wondering
you're thinking there could be
if
something
there's, like,
encoded in there?
a secret code, I'm looking at like first letters. I don't think this one would be
Absolutely
in
could be.
code. Like, if you didn't mind starting at the beginning, we could at least just take a look.
Yep. I think we're probably going to get this in our evidence, and then we can look at it.
Yeah.
Understand concerns. Office meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. No, I guess maybe not, but we can still take a look.
Yeah, so... Yeah, it does. My first thing would be like, oh, maybe it's first letters code, but I'm like, I'm not seeing anything with that. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
yeah, so if it is, then it's more clever than that. You just got the key right here.
The only key to the crime scene room was held in my brother's left hand during the incident. After examination, it was
kind of
found
funny
that the key only
that
had fingerprints belonging to my
for
brother.
all that he was scratching up the chair in agony, he didn't drop it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it might have been placed there afterwards.
Convenient, maybe because somebody was the first one on the scene.
Yep. A photo of the key. Distinct oriental style in its appearance. Intricate craftsmanship. Hello, Kit! Welcome to the stream! We're in
our mind palace.
Yeah. We're back in the past. This key has a side cut mechanism, making it difficult to duplicate. Oh, well that's going back to your point before.
It's not though. You just take a wax imprint and then you fill that with I guess there could be some kind of
I don't know what that really means, the side cut
but...
mechanism.
They're definitely trying to
What'd you miss on the stream? Who died? So we arrived at the publishing house and we started our investigation and we found out that basically what's his face? Lope had been looking at manuscripts of rejected detective novels, and we suspect that's where he got his ideas from. So we were trying to read through those and see if we can find any clues, and in the process things got a little bit weird. We're suspecting that either Shen fell asleep while he was doing this or was drugged and is having some weird-ass dreams. Including his giant father's head chasing him down a corridor.
Yeah, we went into the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog time loop situation.
Yep.
Literally the same mechanic. But yeah, the sort of implication seems to be that Shen's father sucked.
Yeah, I think that was more than an implication.
Was literally going to sell Shen off to get more money for opium. And might have ran into a wall while trying to chase Shen down.
Yeah, presumably had some sort of accident and died.
For that whole murdering.
Yeah.
And
it is also possible that Shen actually did accidentally murder him somehow, but
it's possible. I'm going to take a stab and say whatever circumstances were probably
I think it was not Shen's fault.
As self-defense.
Yeah.
As that. And especially since, the way it worked out in the dream is there was a very brief running mini game where Shen had to dodge obstacles, and then he won it when he ran through a stone doorway that the father's giant head crashed into, and we immediate jump cut to the father dead, bleeding from the head, and it's
yeah,
I think he probably did that in real life.
Probably.
So his brother might have covered it up, and or he might have actually been yeah, he was just super high on opium and he died. Happens. So he might have reported it, but he might have also covered it up. And they have idyllic childhood stuff as Brian's taking care of him. We find out that Shen had a period of time where he was mute due to that trauma. And Brian does the hyoid bone thing on him, and I'm gonna be real, I feel like he should not have done that. He should not have done experimental surgery on his small child younger brother. But also we saw there was a bit where Shen was hiding in the closet right after his father died, and we see a little imaginary friend with the same boater hat that he wears now, and that Shadow Shen wears now, kind of comforting him after. So we're that might be where Shadow Shen kind of started. Brian was reading through some stuff that Freud was talking about with dissociative identity as just a way of dealing with trauma, which I wasn't aware Freud studied that. but it seems to be pretty well confirming that Shadow Shen is an alternate persona who's kind of protecting Shen from something.
Yeah.
And Brian's research was on opium cessation drugs because opium cessation medicine, I guess, because of all the shit with their dad.
Yep.
And now we're flashing back through our brain.
Yeah, so
Shadow
we got,
Shen was like. Shadow Shen was like, "You're running out of time to solve this. You're forgetting all the clues."
Yep. So yeah, now we're in like the dreamscape version of the past, and now we're in the police office looking at the various reports and evidence and stuff. We got to look at the crime scene again to just kind of refresh our memory of that situation. But yeah. Where's my emotional support officer, Jones? He's around.
He is around.
I think he went,
we got Officer Jones, but
scene.
yes, Afu is not here.
Yeah.
And given how the entirety of the last case went, I'm worried. I'm like, I want Shen.
They're just like writing Afu out of the game now. Like, he's not important. We don't care about him anymore.
I'm like, guys, this is not how you treat your Maya Fey.
Just like, who cares about him? Nobody likes Afu. This is the dagger that took my brother's life.
The dagger.
The blood on it has already coagulated.
Metropolitan's police. I don't know.
The hyoid bone thing. It was first brought up with Afu in the previous case where he was like so scared or whatever that he like dislocated something and couldn't talk. I don't fully understand how it works, but
apparently you can just pop it back into place. You just need to like open wide, let me reach in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I don't think that Shen, who admitted he is not a medical practitioner, I don't think he should have done that to Afu. I especially don't think Brian, who was probably like 16 to 18 at the time, I don't think that Brian should have done that to his younger brother, who was probably around 6. He's like, I know all the doctors said you might never speak again, but I think I can fix this. Just open up. I'm gonna stick a tweezer down your throat. And I'm like, Brian, with all due respect, no.
Yeah, it was a thing.
He's
homicide / suicide. Interesting.
Involved with that. I cannot. I don't think I could bear 2 gumshoe betrayals. Sorry, what was the thing you were saying?
I'm just saying that the case said homicide / suicide, which I guess makes sense since they don't know.
They don't know yet. Oh, no. If we're talking about giving him even more trauma, I'm raising the possibility that the contraption was triggered by a telegram sent to his telegram machine, which caused all the stuff to start unwinding and happen. And I am raising the possibility that because the date of Brian's death was the same as the date that their father died, that Shen sent him a telegram due to the emotional bit of the day. He's like, hey, how you holding up? And that telegram might have been the thing that triggered the contraption, and that Shadow Shen figured this out ages ago and is like, I'm locking that memory down tight.
Yep.
We're just not remembering that part. Let's not remember that part.
As Officer Jones mentioned, compared to a regular dagger, this dagger is lighter.
Like you need to hang it from the ceiling?
The police have found 2 fingerprints on the dagger, and both of them belong to my brother.
I'm gonna note, it's got a perfect little loop at the end.
Yep.
Like, you
so good for hanging
from
things. Yeah. Perfect. Interestingly, both fingerprints are located at the end of the dagger handle.
The very end.
That is weird.
That is interesting, because it's like... I'm trying to think of where you'd get fingerprints at the end of the dagger.
I was wondering. There are also slight scorch marks on the ring at the end of the dagger handle. So it was hung from something and it burned.
It's always contraptions. At the very end, so like almost like he was like swinging it around a finger or something.
I don't know, or he was just like picking it up by the ring.
The thing is, I could almost see somebody doing that if he hung it, if like he was the one hanging it up. And I'm like, that would be a very wild way, like this was in fact an elaborate suicide, it was just suicide by contraption. That would be truly wild, but I don't think
that would be something. There's a map on the wall, showing police jurisdiction boundaries. Huh. How's that gonna be relevant? That's interesting. Red lines on the map connect different crime scenes. Auntie Cheng's house is located in Area A, under the jurisdiction of Westminster Police Station. How is that gonna be relevant? That's interesting.
Are we in the Westminster Police Station?
I guess.
So
there are thousands of letters piled up on the bookshelf.
There's something important about the place of death. Like, not only did they want him dead, they wanted him dead in such a way that it would fall under the jurisdiction of this place because they can, like, clean things up.
Yeah. They have some sort of influence here, maybe?
Yeah. Like Joseph.
Yeah.
Sergeant Joseph.
Surprisingly, those are letters from the infamous Jack the Ripper case.
That's right, we're bringing in Jack the Ripper. You thought we'd escape Jack the Ripper because this game is Chinese? No.
Among them, some provide information, and some are claimed to be written by the killer.
Maybe that's a hint about
the real mystery of this case as of right now. What is Brian's Chinese name? I know! We're gonna find out someday, right? We've gotta.
We got whole flashbacks from his childhood.
Yeah, and he was still listed as Brian.
And yeah, Brian's still Brian.
Yeah.
Did his dad name him that? Was his dad like a reverse
I wonder
Weeaboo,
if,
but just for this one
I
kid?
wonder if Shen has blocked that out for some reason.
That actually would be interesting, yeah.
Like, I wonder why that
Somehow,
why?
The name was important?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Ooh, that could
Weird.
be interesting, actually, yeah.
Fact unlocked, Jack the Ripper. Yeah, the fire is also going to be
there we go.
Related to something.
August 16th.
A copy of the Times
okay,
on August
so that
16th.
happened after he
Headline
died.
is about a fire incident.
Oh no, it happened the same day. Heartbreaking incident on August 15th. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Second floor of the hospital.
London
The laboratory conditions in an experimental project conducted by the hospital.
On fire last night, so that would have been the night of the 15th.
Yeah.
So after
So still
Brian's
after
death.
he died.
The fire broke out on the second floor around 9 p.m. and quickly engulfed the entire building. I wonder if they were getting rid of evidence of like the whatever experimental drugs.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting to me is that they're like, the fire started on the second floor, and I'm like, okay. Brian's contraption, the contraption that killed Brian, the involved burning things. So I'm like, the thing is, I don't think you don't really need a contraption to set fire to a hospital. You just need a Molotov, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's interesting. The connection between the fire, the hospital's equipment, laboratory conditions, or the experimental project itself. Are they? Yeah, are they like trying to? I'm wondering if the implication is either that something that Brian was working on accidentally had flammable properties, or a bit more likely they're trying to make it look like Brian's research was bad. You know?
I think maybe they were trying to get rid of it. Of like whatever
Get rid of it,
like,
but it's also
or
like
research information they had.
There's concern about the connection between the fire and the laboratory conditions or the experimental project itself. Like, if you wanted to shut down an entire avenue of research, being like,
yeah, for sure.
Ah, yes.
Like,
anti-opium pills will spontaneously catch
I mean, the whole
fire,
thing, even with the, like, you know, this wasn't your fault, something went horribly wrong, like, that also very much smells like a setup.
Wrong before that.
Like, I think most likely there was nothing wrong. It was just someone sabotaged the project.
Someone sabotaged the project. The Sassoons.
Yeah. And the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Oh, that it?
Yeah. Time to see the body,
I was gonna say, you're not Officer Jones, but I guess there's another one.
Master Shen, this here is Sergeant Gaunt, in charge of investigating your brother's
So this
case.
is the guy who it got transferred to after Joseph. Because that was the thing they said. They said Joseph started it off.
Into this case is done and dusted. Sign
Just like your brother. Heyo!
Sergeant Gaunt, I can't sign it yet.
What you say?
My brother won't kill himself.
You questioning the police, are you?
Yeah.
No. I just feel that.
He's like, and that's when they beat
Mr.
me
Shen,
up, which is
we
why this
hold
was a
your
bad
brother's
memory.
case in the highest regard, very seriously. Suicide is the conclusion reached after meticulous investigation and careful consideration. Whether it's Joseph or the more experienced Sergeant Gaunt, both are on board with this conclusion.
Ain't you here to collect the remains?
So
No
that guy's
signature,
got a
no
lot
go
of
with the
medals, and
rest
there
of the
was a medal
bleeding
on the
paperwork.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we're not going to give you your brother's body until
哥
you.
哥绝不会自杀。可是，如果我签署了这份文件，就意味着这个案子尘埃落定了。
Closed.
Mm.
You get the same case closed stamp. A little triumphant case closed.
哥哥，你到底经历了什么？
Oh.
Ah!
Are we doing it?
And this is Shadow Shen time.
这种感觉似乎什么地方不对劲。
Mr. Shen,
Like I sense
are
it with
you
my
feeling
psychic
well?
powers.
A voice tells me that.
A voice doesn't he's saying that out loud to
Yeah,
them.
you maybe shouldn't have opened with
There
that.
is an inconsistency between a certain item I saw earlier and the documents
Oh,
in
okay.
my hands.
Let's do this. Okay.
Wait, hang on.
Ah.
What documents are we?
Okay, jeez.
Wait, what
Can we
documents
save
are
them
we referring
I think the
to?
document is saying, oh yeah, this was a suicide.
Oh, the suicide bit.
I think so.
Let's see.
I
mean, one thing I would think is the. I was gonna say the fingerprints on the knife, but I don't know if we even have that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you
There's
would have
no
had to
fingerprints
hold
on
the
the
fucking
handle.
knife to stab yourself with it.
The most delicate suicide ever. Yeesh, they're throwing us into
Oh yeah,
the
the
deep end.
dagger. I guess. Can I? I don't think I can save.
I mean,
whatever.
Yeah, it's a thing that they said, but it's not in the text, which is usually how they indicate stuff.
Like, I'm not sure which documents we're trying to contradict here.
I think the document is essentially sign off on the conclusions of your brother's case.
That it's a suicide, yeah.
That it's a suicide, yeah, I think so.
I guess let's try this.
Give it a go.
What's it you're trying to prove then?
Mr.
God damn
Shen,
it.
is there an issue with this Evidence?
Wait, maybe.
No.
It seems like there is
Damn
no
it.
inconsistency between the two. Allow me a moment to think again. A voice
Oof.
tells me that
Can we still
there
not
is
save?
an inconsistency between
Oh, maybe I
certain
could have
item
before
I
this
saw earlier and the
line, but
documents in my hands.
it's too late now.
So, is it maybe the map then? Because we zoom in on this like logo, right? So, hang on.
What is that picture of like
is this Wandsworth?
there's like a broken window or something on the left there?
Yeah,
I don't
hang
know
on.
what these other-
Wandsworth came up, didn't it?
Yeah, I forget. In what context.
Can you go through evidence just to see if there's anything that would like the autopsy report or something that might have like the header of the police station on it?
Nope.
It could also be the news report. Just because it's a weird, suspicious thing. But I'm wondering because, like, we knew that, you know, this thing has to be in our evidence for some reason. So maybe it's that this isn't the Westminster police station?
I feel like we don't have any...
Like, I feel like the word Wandsworth is the one that I have a recollection of something happening somewhere. And, like, if that's what this police station is, then it's weird that they're the ones investigating it, you know? Are we able to save it all?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, no. This is bad.
Anonymous telegram.
Can you go into the transcript?
I don't think so, no.
No. Oh, jeez. Yeah, because we've got a big B there. I'm like, that's got to be something, right? It's the only thing we're zooming in on.
Oh, the B? Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
The seal. Like, if we look at the map
because
of
there was
boroughs
the, like,
Area A.
Yeah, Area A, Area B.
Area B. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that's
it's
a
in
good
the
point.
wrong jurisdiction.
Officers, I noticed that the letter B
Yeah.
is marked on each folder. Is this the police station's code or identifier?
Aye, that's our station code. We're mainly responsible for security in Kensington.
So why are
The
you
map
investigating my
indicates that
brother's
the house where
murder?
the murder occurred is located in the city of Westminster. On the map, Westminster is labeled with the code A.
You questioning if we ain't got the authority?
I mean,
I'm
yes,
just
literally
raising
that.
a reasonable doubt.
I've mentioned to you before, we received the initial distress telegram. That day, I showed Joseph the distress telegram. We knew the address, so we went together.
The person who sent the telegram is crucial. He is likely a key witness. We should
So,
continue.
yeah, I have a strong recollection of it being Bell Sr.
Yeah, I'm confused by this.
So why do
The
we have
scene's a
that
locked
recollection?
room, and the only fingerprints on the murder weapon are your brother's.
Yeah, but only on the tiny
Just
little
these two
loop.
bits alone are enough to peg it as a suicide.
Wow.
Unless you can cough up some proper evidence, go on and get out of my sight.
Yeah, but there's the knife, and there's, like you mentioned, the key shouldn't have still been in his hands if he was, like...
Yeah, but I'm not
Scratching
sure if
everything up.
that's what... He's like, come on, voice in my head.
哥哥，什么是侦探呀？
He's like, that's right, time to change my career. It's very funny that he was studying law first and then is like, I'm gonna pivot to detective. Phoenix is like, I'll just keep being a lawyer, thanks.
说不定有什么细节被我忽略掉了。
If you claim my brother stabbed himself, this piece of evidence seems peculiar.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the dagger.
Now it's the knife?
Officers, something still puzzles me. The fingerprints found on the dagger.
They're like, oh no, we've got another hotshot amateur detective who's gonna show us all up and make us look like
located
fools.
At the end of the knife handle. It seems that he wasn't gripping the dagger, but rather holding it between two fingers.
So, throwing knives.
Yeah.
In this position, how could he have stabbed himself in the
Now,
chest
I
with
am
the
gonna
dagger?
note, Shen, for the sake of completeness, he could have thrown it up and just relied on it to go down.
Oh boy. What a way to kill yourself.
Once again,
That would be
it was a
something.
very elaborately constructed suicide.
Yep.
Clearly that ain't the way he held the dagger when he offed himself.
Yeah, but you don't have
But
fingerprints,
if
and
he
he
held the
wasn't
dagger in
wearing
a different
gloves.
way, there should have been more fingerprints left.
Not necessarily.
We speculate your brother held the dagger through his shirt sleeves. No fingerprints were left.
Do we have
If he
evidence of
intended
that
to kill
on the
himself,
shirt sleeve?
Why would
Yeah.
he avoid leaving fingerprints on the dagger?
He's like, I just want to make more work for the
That
cops.
doesn't matter.
You.
Oh.
Mr. Shen, get upset. We're not trying to make things difficult for you deliberately. The detail you're questioning, even if it's in doubt, it's didn't change the conclusion. It was a locked room. Door, windows, skylight, all locked from inside.
Yeah, but you forgot about the
only key
mysterious
was in
portal
your
to the
brother's
police
hand.
station.
There is nay a second person who could have committed the act in such a situation.
What if it was a contraption? The machine uprising.
Oh.
All evidence leaves traces.
Are there truly no other possibilities?
Rainstorm. Okay.
Another mini game.
有没有可能，凶手提前复制了一把钥匙呢？
So they want to say no. Officer Jones, you look different. Okay. He's being Officer Jones. Okay, that makes more sense.
Shen breaking out the cosplay.
Yeah.
复制一把钥匙并不是多复杂的事。
He's like, yeah, see, it's not actually that difficult. You know nothing about what you don't know.
而易见的问题，警方会考虑不到。
郑夫人家的钥匙采用了一种独特的东方设计。你在安，我找了不少锁匠来核实过，没人。
So is Shen just like sitting here, like acting all this out while the other two officers are just like, "You all right, buddy?"
Well, I wonder if that's because it was like some kind of Eastern style key. Maybe
Well, yeah, they said
those
it's an
locksmiths just
Eastern-style
didn't know how to do it. But if
yeah,
you took it to
so
like
in
a Chinese
theory,
locksmith,
our Chinese
or like
suspects are still on the
yeah, or
But,
he could just like do it himself. I don't know.
The way they said it was like a side cut mechanism, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure if that makes it impossible to just put it in a block of wax and use that as a mold.
当真如此吗？可，郑阿姨的家里为何要用那么复杂的钥匙和锁？
He's like, right, I've met her,
原因
never
不重要
mind.
重要的是，
这让案发现场成为了一个密室。
A confined
应该还有其
room.
他的可能性存在。
A contraption.
房间唯一的钥匙在哥哥手里，更可能是因为凶手。
I mean, returned the key.
I mean...
Or didn't... Yeah, I guess...
Yeah, but like...
Yeah,
if they returned the
guess
key, they wouldn't have been able to lock it.
Yeah, okay, so
I think it would have to
essentially the
be didn't
return
need
of
a
the
key.
key could work if it was like Joseph, who ensured he was the first person on the scene, sticks it in Brian's hand and is like, well, he's holding the
Yeah.
only key to the room. So basically the same thing in the first case all over again. I personally think it was a contraption. So
Yeah.
that would mean didn't need the key.
Yep.
也许凶手根本就不需要钥匙。
I guess that's not it.
没有钥匙的话，凶手怎么锁门呢？
凶手不需要用钥匙锁门，因为
Never entered the room, presumably?
Yeah, I guess like for this point in time, did not enter the
Yeah.
room is probably the correct.
也许凶手根本就没有进屋。
案发那天，他整个人气息低落，浑浑噩噩。
This is a very elaborate.
郑阿姨说，那天中午，我哥哥回屋时脸色不对劲。
So, I'm not sure that this explains the obvious contraption and the evidence we've seen of it. But, like, if Shen's brother was like, you know, he's a chemist, he's like, oh shit, these are the symptoms of strychnine poisoning, and he is aware of how painful that death is. He could have mercy killed himself. It could be literally the throwing the dagger thing, but I'm not sure that he would have had the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
for
I feel
that.
like that would be really risky.
Really risky and hard to pull off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like if you're gonna kill yourself with a thrown dagger in the
Also, like, I'm pretty sure it was held by something that burned, hence the scorch marks on it.
yeah,
There was some kind of loop through the
yeah, there's
loop.
contraptions going
Yeah.
on, and I'm like, the thing is, I do think the killer would have needed to get in the room to do that, but like earlier, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
他会不会在回家前就已经中刀了？
你是说，被害人在无外遇之后？
Well, he wasn't stabbed in the chest. He was just
He wasn't
poisoned.
stabbed outside. There was a second dagger.
最后，死在密闭的房间里。
正是这样。
Yeah,
Imagine he
this is
just
fully
walks into his house with a knife in his chest. Like, yeah, this is fine.
Mrs. Cheng's like, I didn't notice because ghosts.
完全没提过受害者身上有血迹或者胸口中刀之类的事情啊。
Yeah.
也许他没注意到。
荒唐！他对被害人的面部表情都观察得那么细致，怎么可能没注意到？
There's so much evidence that specifically suggests contraption.
Yeah.
We've got the candles with the weird groove. We've got the folded over telegram. We've got the scorch marks on the ceiling. We've got the asbestos. We've got the wax strippings on his clothes.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's like there's a lot for this. So
Yeah.
it's just like, what are the answers we're seeing? Like, yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't seem like he was stabbed beforehand.
Yeah.
说明被害人死前并不是处于站立状态。小子，破案不是看侦探小说。
It's not like reading detective novels.
要我去。
看来，这不是正确的方向。我需要重新思考一下。
Okay. Interesting. That's interesting.
Genshin timelines.
Oh boy. There's the... Oh, yeah. Hang on. So, inspect.
So I guess we just go down the branching paths. What? Maybe it's that the door wasn't locked when he set it up. It's like they didn't need the door to be locked in order to set it.
Now, yeah. Where, I think maybe let's try the return the key.
房间唯一的钥匙在哥哥手里，也许凶手锁好门后，又用某种方式将钥匙送了回来。
哦，通过哪里送回来
Through the door.
That would be hard though, because it would have to end up in his hand.
Yeah, no, I'm
So
like
no
literally
food.
he went with the cop on the scene of the crime.
That, yeah.
He was first on the
大概率还是
scene.
通过门送回钥匙，毕竟门是房间唯一的出入口。
可是，凶手要怎样通过门
So I mean the
把
thing
钥
is,
匙送回被害人手
Shen
中？
can't solve it here. So maybe even we're not like, if he's remembering a memory, he didn't solve it.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, he could
you
solve
know.
it now, because this is like the memory of a memory kind
This
of
is the
thing.
Mind Palace version,
Yeah.
but we haven't really seen indication that he's doing anything different. So maybe we just need to
We'll see.
explore all of these.
Yeah.
你在怀疑警方？
Yes.
案发后，只有琼斯先生
He was Officer Jones. I'm sorry, Kit.
尸检也
Joseph?
是由约瑟做的。
Yeah, it was Joseph for sure.
Joseph.
等等等等，你怀疑凶手
Yes.
是约瑟？
I do like how he's like, you can't be suspecting me, so you're suspecting Joseph.
至少这种可能性存在。
直到接到报案前，约瑟一直待在警局，警局里的人都可以证明。
Till he needed to be called to the scene
容我再想想。
to deal with it.
Okay, so not that.
Okay. Maybe it is because like it seems very convenient that Joseph could have palmed the key back to him. And we did bring up the point of it's weird that he was clawing at the chair and didn't drop the key. So maybe
Yeah.
he did have the key for separate reasons. Or like he was setting it up and like essentially it wasn't a locked room when Brian died. But also independently of that, there was the contraption. Like the contraption was there to give them alibis.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I think we gotta... we gotta complete these, I guess.
Yeah, I think we might end up just having to go through all of them.
Let's just work our way through, I guess. Wait, what's Y for ponder?
That takes us into that
Okay.
part, that branch.
Okay.
I think this one had like a mechanism
大概率还是
option,
通过
right?
门，
Yeah.
毕竟门是房间
Let's。try that.
可是，凶
Using
手
a
要怎
mechanism.
样
Using a
通过门
mechanism. I guess the contraption could have been to get the key in his hand.
制作机关。
机关？
A mechanism. I've never heard of
什
such
么
a
机
thing.
关能把钥匙准确的送回被害人手中？
Alright, you need a phonograph, you need a
So it would
telegram,
pretty
you
much
need
have
some
to be like
candles.
tied to his hand.
Yes, but it could have
then
been
you
tied
would-
to his hand.
yeah.
There was burnt
You would have
stuff
had to-
nearby.
But if the thing tying to his hand had burned, it would have burned his hand too.
It wouldn't have. Okay, the thing is,
Although, I mean, I guess it
something
could have like, yeah, it could have fallen off.
flash
after
paper,
it-
magician's trick stuff,
Yeah.
stuff that would
首先
burn without really like.
凶手要用这件物品，将钥匙和哥哥的手连接起来。
Ooh,
Ooh.
okay, this might be the right branch. contraptions!
Connect the key to brother's hand. The scraps of paper was nearby. This mesh was nearby.
Okay, let's see. The question is, how exactly does this contraption work?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, let's see this. What was the paper? The burnt paper? These were found on the body. The thing with the asbestos is it was sort of a little bit away, but it is a mesh. So, like, I think it's the mesh or the paper. Or do we have
so.
the?
Those were like right next to the body and are suspicious.
Yeah.
An item to connect the key to my brother's. I don't see it being paper though. I guess would it have been the mesh?
It's got wires, so maybe, yeah.
Let's try it.
这个看起来和钥匙完全无关啊。
So, okay, I will say this for the chat. In Officer Jones's defense, he might not have been in cahoots. He could have just been an officer showing up to investigate the thing, and he was just a witness so that Joseph could be like, ah, man, we were right here. You didn't notice me palming the keys, so obviously I had nothing to do with it. So he could be a patsy, which is a very gumshoe thing to be.
I guess let's try the paper. I can't see how the paper would be like connecting to his hand, but
it might.
It is the other thing
if
that
it's
was
not
there.
the paper, the telegraph reel.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, honestly, maybe even to the telegraph reel now, because it was bent back at one end and it was dirty, like it was being dragged across the ground.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, I guess maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
If you set it up so that the telegram reel was going in the other direction.
There we go.
Yes.
You were right.
将钥匙收入屋内的。
摩斯码纸盘，
纸袋的内侧比较脏，有一些磨损痕迹。我怀疑这是纸袋在地上拖行所产生的痕迹。
不可行。
No.
Why not, Sergeant Gaunt?
电报机的朝向就是问题。
Yeah, but literally just switch
It
around and
wasn't-
you're good.
纸盘指向实验桌的方向。
It wasn't
we
there
got the
though. It was on the
candles.
floor.
The candles with the groove.
Oh, and they're even marked on that
Yeah.
image. Okay, the paper
Yep,
reel
candles
is
with the groove.
facing towards the table. Yeah, it's facing towards the candles, and it was bent around them.
Yep.
其次，
Yep.
从空间上看，电报机、被害人和房门并不在一条
That's
直
what the
线。
candles are for.
这里不仅有角度差，还有高度差。
Yeah, but if it's being
巧了
dragged across the floor.
现在，凶手是怎么用纸袋把钥匙送回你哥哥手中呢？
Candles.
Yeah, so I wonder if they used. Wait.
I'm not sure.
Would there
how
be
the
a way for them
phonograph
to like
ties in,
roll
because-
it up? Because
Well,
like if
I think that if you just had the paper strip flipped in backwards, because normally it would unroll.
that would make sense. Yes,
You just flip it the other way around.
that would be perfect. Yeah,
the
and
candles.
It would. Yeah.
It's the candles because they had that
Yeah.
grill.
Yeah.
凶手应该还用到了房间中的一些其他物品。究竟哪些物品构成了机关？它们又是怎样运转的？
That's what I've been asking, Shen.
整理一下。
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't love the way you gotta put them in the specific order.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the significance of this order
I think-
is.
Okay, paper strips
I think
either
yeah,
go in between the key or they go at the other end, like the far end of it. I'm just trying to figure out what the order of operations they want us to do is.
Yeah, like I'm not sure what the. Hang on. So what is?
So what happens if we pick up the? Yeah, we've got the candles and we've got the stool, because the stool was also there.
Yes.
Problem description. So
yeah, I would say this probably goes at the end there, and then we have the stool and candles here. Have you seen?
All right.
Would it be
yeah, stool, candles.
I guess.
Yeah, because the candles have the grooves.
And then the paper, maybe? Stool.
Yeah, is the stool? Okay, yeah.
Maybe the paper or something? I don't know.
Yeah, oh, okay. No, I think I know what the paper, if the paper you wanted to, make it so that the key slid under the door and across the floor. So, like, it was a smoother thing, so the key wasn't just, like, scraping across the floor, you know? I could see that.
I don't know. Let's try it. Alright, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
No?
I wish we'd just been allowed to just...
Are you gonna give me more hints than that? Something doesn't seem quite right. The paper reel doesn't rotate on its own. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what the phonograph's for.
That's it. There's a missing power source here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yes, we need the...
Or hang on, do we have the letters? Like the telegrams?
We have the telegraph
If it's not,
machine,
it's the phonograph.
I feel like.
Oh no, literally just the telegraph machine.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Oh yeah, that makes some sense. Okay. So we take away the paper?
I feel like it wouldn't be there though. I feel like it would be next to the reel.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it could be the reel is there and the phonograph machine is next to it.
I don't understand the logic behind the ordering.
I don't understand it either. Have we saved already?
I saved a while ago, yeah. I can't save here. Okay, so we need the reel, we need the telegraph, we need the candles, for sure.
Yeah, like, the paper and the stool are the ones that I'm not sure about.
I'm guessing the stool, too, because it's just... Given the layout, it's, like, right there.
It's right there, yeah.
It's, like, directly on the way. So I feel like it would
really
be part of
helpful
the
for
path.
that. So I think take away the paper, put in the telegraph machine, just move everything down.
I don't think we can. Yeah, I don't think we can move those. Key, hand. There are wood shavings in the nail. I guess that would mean that, you know, he was just scratching the wood. But
from scratching the chair.
That's not that's not from the contraption.
I don't think that's the contraption. So yeah, I think just move the candles there. Move the stool down.
That ordering doesn't make sense to me, though.
I don't think any ordering makes sense.
Maybe the order doesn't matter? I don't know.
I hope so, but, like, if there's an order, I think that the telegraph machine and the reel are the closest to each other.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, move everything down.
Maybe put the machine there?
Yeah, let's move everything down.
It doesn't make sense for there to be something between the key and the hand.
I don't understand.
Maybe it would be
could be the paper.
The actual the thing that conveys the key to the hand being the reel.
It could be the paper.
Let's try the paper.
I don't know what.
Let's see what kind of
is.
what kind of hint he gives us on here, because I think
I mean,
we
if
needed.
it just says something.
Yeah, he said we needed some kind of power source. We'll put the telegraph machine there. Let's see if he has something else to say when we do that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it this time? Something doesn't seem quite right. There's a height difference between the table and the floor.
Okay, the stool. The stool is there to keep it on ground level.
It will pass through the candle flame and be ignited.
Which is what they wanted, actually. So, take away the paper, put back the stool.
Yeah. I'm still confused about the ordering, but I think these are the
Honestly,
correct...
I think the candle
I think
should
these
go
are the
there.
correct items.
Yeah, I think the candle should go there.
Okay, yeah,
Because
that's fair.
the reel is passing through the stool first.
Oh, we did it!
So that's how it is.
I think the
We
ordering
have
doesn't
no idea
matter.
if the order mattered.
Officers, I know how the killer returned the key.
But of course we know that it didn't work in the real timeline. So we'll see if it works in our imagination.
Mr. Shen, then please, share your thoughts.
The killer used this Morse code paper strip as a rope to place the key in my brother's hand. He had my brother hold onto the middle, and then swung one end outside the door. Then, inserted the swung end into the key's chain hole and bent it back in reverse. Next, used a candle to change the direction of the strip and keep it down with a low stool. Finally, put the paper reel back on the telegraph machine and activated it. As the machine operated, it pulled the key back into the room through the gap under the door.
So we still haven't figured out what's up with
it would have had to be
asbestos.
activated after the killer left, though, right?
Yes, but that's a thing
But
that you
that's-
can
yeah.
do if you
Yeah, just
know
send
how
a
to send a telegraph.
Yeah.
The key had resistance when passing through the hand, causing the strip to detach. Then, the
Because
key
that
stayed
rigor
in his
mortis.
hand.
Rigor mortis this, rigor mortis that.
This is the method the killer used to return the key.
A true Phoenix Wright level deduction.
This method sounds feasible and aligns with the scene. Gaunt, this.
Officer Jones is like,
Infeasible.
I have a photographic memory of the crime scene.
Why not feasible?
Because
that
it's
telegraph
stupid, that's
machine,
why.
it only spits out paper. Doesn't take
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too, but you're right.
You
just
literally
reverse
put it in the reverse way.
What?
If the killer did retrieve the key using the telegraph machine, there'd be a heap of paper strips scattered on a desk at the crime scene.
Jones is on our side.
But it
We'll
ain't the
see.
case.
Aye, right. At the scene, the Morse code paper strip was neatly kept in a paper reel.
Also, we have to wonder how it
It's
fell
right
off.
there.
And
It's on the
that
floor.
paper reel was found on
I mean,
the
because
floor.
of it was on the floor, you can't tell if it was backwards. But how did it end up on the floor?
So I do
Mr.
think
Shen,
they've been saying that
likely
the Morse
you've
code
got it
strip is
wrong.
different than the paper reel somehow. But like you put it in,
did
he put it in the
overlook that
paper
detail,
reel
indeed.
slot.
The telegraph
They're like
machine
two
can't
different
retrieve
reels.
paper, and the reel won't detach itself from the machine. But there are traces
they
on
took
the
the
paper
reel
strip
off.
and candle, suggesting the transportation of the key.
So if they're
All
two
these
different
suggest
ones,
that
the other paper tape. It's either the other paper tapes involved or the crime scene was tampered with.
I think the crime scene was
think
tampered
that-
with in that someone took off the reel.
Yeah, so the thing is, the crime scene was tampered with only works if it's Joseph coming in during the wrap.
Yeah, because like people would
I
have
think
seen.
the
And
other
I think he
paper
came with
tapes-
police, right?
Yeah. They just said Joseph and Jones were there.
Yeah.
They were the first on the scene. Oh yeah. Yeah, that fucking teddy bear.
Yeah, we don't know what's up with the teddy bear.
We don't know what's up with the teddy bear. He was probably smuggling so many drugs in it. Yeah, because the thing is, I'm like, I think it's Joseph, but I don't think we're jumping to that. The other paper tapes involved would explain if there are two different reels, because they've been constantly referring to it as the Morse code paper reel.
Perhaps there were other paper strips at the scene that the killer destroyed?
But then they also would have had to tamper with the crime scene to destroy those.
Yeah.
Impossible.
No.
Signs appear on the strip Officer Jones found.
Yeah.
All these suggest that...
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's not the telegraph machine, it's the phonograph.
Maybe, but like how would they attach the reel?
Because that's where the paper reel was found. Yeah, it just spins.
Officers, I need to revise my viewpoint. The paper
it's not the
strip
telegraph
wasn't
machine,
retrieved
it's the
using
phonograph.
the telegraph machine, but through another item.
Yeah. The contraption. The phonograph.
The Morse code paper reel is a component of the telegraph machine. We all instinctively assumed that it could only be installed on the telegraph
Now, and
machine.
I'm gonna note, we assumed that Brian put on the telegraph, and that's why they're like, oh, this is the time of death and everything, but like, if the time of death happened before that, which I think it was started at like 150 or something, that makes the time of death very different than what was estimated. Good news, Shen.
But in
You
reality,
did not
what truly
accidentally
aided the
help with
killer
your
in
brother's
this
murder
scheme
by sending him a
was
telegram.
the phonograph by the desk.
The phonograph?
Officer Jones is like, I'm sold.
Many uses.
Yeah, murders and playing music.
Yep.
No, we're just...
Ah, yes.
Yeah, circle side. The hex bolt.
This nut has the same hexagonal shape as the slot in the center of the paper
It's like,
reel.
yeah, my brother always liked to make sure that all his mechanical devices had the same hexagonal bolts. It was
By
one of his
fixing
little
the paper
quirks.
reel here, the killer could retrieve the paper strip using the phonograph.
Oh, sorry, that's me, yeah. The paper reel could truly be installed here, pal. However, if the paper reel was installed here, it cannot detach by itself. But we did find it on the ground.
I still need to point out to Officer Jones the location that caused the paper reel to detach.
The location. Turn it around?
I don't know.
It's like the end of the...
I don't really understand
of the
how
thing?
this works.
Okay, so, well, the phonograph reel is gonna go from the right to the left, is the thing.
That's
that's
true,
how it
yeah, so it's
picks up
eventually
the
gonna-
new
yeah.
bits. It's eventually gonna just contract. So essentially it's just the edge of the box, because it's gonna pull in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what part you
Yeah.
actually point out.
I think it's just the edge of... Is it the part that pulls it in? I don't know. I don't know which part he means, because it's like, it's going to be the edge of the box that scrapes it off. But it's
It could also
the part
be the
that pulls
moving
it in that-
cylinder. Because that's
Well, yeah,
what
because the moving
moves
cylinder is
along
going to
the-
move inward.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it can do that because it's skinny. The thing is, the reel's going to collide with the side of the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I've been saying side of the box. I'm just like...
Yeah.
the location that will cause it. I don't know which of these mechanisms does that. You know who would know? A Fu, who doesn't get to be in this mind palace. The paper reel was found on the ground. What's going on with that? Okay. So I guess now we find the maybe it's that little thin thing on the side.
Thin thing on what side?
Because that's the pneumatic thing that's gonna pull it in or something. Like the skinny little line. That skinny little piece, yeah.
This one?
Yeah, because it's like that's the thing that I think moves it.
It's not doing anything.
I think the thicker one is what spins it, and like the little pneumatic thing is the one that's gonna move it.
Yeah, we already had that. Why is it? I don't know. It is indeed this phonograph's tone arm that caused the paper reel to detach.
Officers, please take a look. The phonograph's
like
tone
no.
arm continuously shifts to the right during music play.
There you go, yes.
Of course, we all know this
The
about
tone
the
arm
phonograph.
pushes the paper reel away and the reel rolled into the position where it was found. So, the killer's artifice of creating a locked room illusion stands completely exposed.
That's right.
Mr. Shen, that's truly an enlightening deduction.
What's your opinion, Sergeant Gaunt?
But we still haven't uncovered the second contraption, the one that dropped the knife.
Like the killer would have had to come in at some point after he was dead.
Yeah, it's a weird
or I guess at that point
situation.
even before he was dead to just stab him. But
Because,
I mean, I still think the
we-
knife was dropped via contraption, but like
Yeah,
in order
so
to
do
set up
I,
the whole
because it's
telegraph thing and like the key and whatnot, like they had to literally put the strip through his dead hand, like
yes,
he would have had to be dead already at that point. So then what's
here
the whole
are things
point?
that I think though. Okay, do we remember exactly when Mrs. Cheng said that he returned to the apartment? Because what
I think it was around
remember
1,
being struck by.
but I wonder if do we have any testimony?
I don't know if we have that testimony.
I don't think we
right
have
now.
it right now, yeah.
Yeah, I do kind of remember it
I
being
remember
like
it
something
being
around noon,
around 1. Yeah, or around noon.
which is tricky. Here's the thing that I'm thinking of, and I don't know if it contradicts her testimony, but we'll get back to it. So the thing is, the most obvious place for him to get strychnine poisoning, which he definitely had strychnine poisoning,
Yes.
was in the meeting with Dr. Bell,
Yes.
which was at 9.
Yes.
I think I remember somebody saying like he left maybe around 10 or something. The window we have been told for strychnine poisoning is 1 to 3 hours.
Yes.
So, not only is, the motive of, the strychnine poisoning and everything, we want to get that out of people's minds, so we're going to stab him to death also. But I think that if, you had a poisoning where it'd be like, okay, we have to look at places he could have ate or drank within 1 to 3 hours of his death. If they actually knew the time of death and could look back to that, I think they'd see, he was getting coffee with his advisor 1 to 3 hours before he died. So I think the point of stabbing him,
yeah,
he might have been dead when he was stabbed.
Yeah.
He might have even fully been dead. It was to change the time of death. So
I mean, yeah, to be honest, like we've been wondering like how they set it up so perfectly that he was like lying directly underneath the skylight and whatnot. Like they could very well have arranged that after he was dead, if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, we get back to the landlady who would have seen anyone come in or out. So how the heck did they get in?
The question is, How did they pull that off? I don't know. I don't know yet.
Clearly the landlady did it.
We still and we still have the question of, okay, look, if they were just creeping in to stab Brian to cover up the time of death, I don't know why they need a contraption to drop the knife.
Yeah, exactly.
But it nonetheless feels like there was a contraption to drop the knife, because we still have that. We've got the burnt paper, we've got the wax droplets, we've got the wire, asbestos wire.
We have scorch marks on the knife.
Scorch marks on the ceiling. This knife has a perfect little loop, as if to drop exactly on a person. So maybe even like, I still don't know why we thought it was Dr. Bell who sent the telegram of, I saw a homicide, not a suicide, a homicide. Like, the thing with the homicide is maybe it was somebody who was being primed to see the knife drop, which would look more like a homicide than, you know, a dead guy in a chair. But they also didn't want to risk the person seeing the actual stabbing, so they had to arrange it such that somebody was looking out the window and saw the exact knife drop point, so they could pin down this was the time of death. So maybe that's why we have this secondary contraption. It does raise the question of, maybe they set it up at a point that she would have been distracted. I also do remember, I remember, I remember something about the landlady saying she was contacted at a time. Somebody's raised, is she being paid? Is she being paid off? Is she a false witness? Maybe. We
could be.
haven't had a lot of false witnesses,
but we do
who didn't actually do the crime
alibis that say she was in fact sitting outside the whole time. So
sitting outside,
I don't think she could have actually gone in and done it.
She could have, but hang on a second. She was seen outside, sitting outside?
Yes.
Because wasn't that the whole thing she said? It's bad luck to go outside on the ghost day? So is she lying about that?
No, she said, I think it might just be an awkward translation, that she was like, she was sitting outside the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, she said
that she was like
her own house, and so it's a question of,
like soaking up the sun for good luck or something.
Yeah, but that's
bad luck to go out,
of, is
but
it
she needs to
literally
soak up the
bad
sun
luck
to
to
dispel
be
evil.
outside, or is it just like to go a place? It's fine if it's your home. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I would think, that she can be like, at home but outdoors.
Here's the thing that I will say. So
I don't know.
They're bringing up, nobody else saw those guys that you mentioned.
That was very weird, yeah.
That was very weird. Here's the thing. I don't think, like, if she was the killer and she was just making up those guys, I think that wouldn't come into play until much later, you know? It's like, I wonder who the killer is. Maybe it's the person who says that there was another guy there, but everybody's like, no, there wasn't, you know? It's not it's not a very big twist. Also, we have seen those guys.
Yes.
We saw them talking to Mr. Robinson. They're real. So I think the fact that she saw those guys, first of all, would make it weird if she was the killer and they were entirely fictional, because they're not fictional.
Yeah.
But second, I think if she was being paid off, I'm not sure she would mention the guys, you know?
Yeah.
If she were an accomplice, like, why bring up the conspiracy you're getting paid by?
Exactly, of course. I do wonder if, like, other witnesses could have been paid off to say that they didn't see anyone.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that one kind of makes a little more sense, so to speak. They were like, John and Mary from the cafe. We trust John and Mary at the cafe, right?
Yeah. Weird.
So, and Joseph not Joseph, Mr. Bell was like, yeah, we were going to get coffee. And I'm like, oh, coffee at a cafe? Coffee at James and Mary's Cafe? Maybe? So, yeah, I think the contraption is disguising the time of death and maybe even the method. Maybe our brother did in fact die of strychnine poisoning, and there is an elaborate cover-up happening.
Yeah.
He died of strychnine, not.
There's so much going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think it's getting a little bit late, so I don't know at what point we want to stop. I feel like we're not going to reach a good stopping point.
I think it's a question of
it's just
how much of this case is happening in the Mind Palace and how much is going to happen. Because I don't know that it makes sense to have it all happen in the Mind Palace, because presumably, eventually, we've got to look at the book and get more clues from the book. So we've got to pop out to the real world sometime. I'm like, either Sergeant Gaunt is going to shut us down quickly and we're going to be able to like hit our dead end and wake up, or we're going to have, if we enter another mini game, then I think we're at the point of, okay,
yeah, it's a good
this
point.
is not getting done tonight.
Your speculation does have a certain level of plausibility.
Wow.
Could the police say that?
But speculation is just speculation. Cracking a case comes down to evidence and facts.
My statements are backed by factual evidence.
Yeah, I did. I reenacted the
Your speculation
contraption.
does seem to explain some of the phenomena at the scene. But there are still fatal contradictions between it and some crucial facts.
Can't believe they waited this long to introduce our Edgeworth.
Time. Between 1:40 and 2:30 that afternoon, the cafe downstairs heard uninterrupted phonograph music.
Yes, that was when they started it.
If the killer turned on the phonograph to transport the key back into the room, then
it means he
before
died
1:40, he must have locked the door and left the scene. According to autopsy, your brother's time of death is estimated to be between 2 and 3.
No, he left the door while the phonograph was still running. They just had enough slack.
Of course, it can be narrowed down further to 2 to 2:28. He was dead when the police arrived. You catch what this implies?
No, that's not a contradiction, you idiot. He turned on the phonograph before he left the room.
Even following your speculation, your brother got stabbed after the killer left the room.
Okay, so they're really hinging it on the
foundation
autopsy.
Of this reasoning out of the water, doesn't it?
Because Joseph did it.
Is it possible he was attacked before 1:50, with death occurring after 2 o'clock?
You know he died from a weapon piercing the left pulmonary artery, causing sudden cardiac arrest. In other words, he died instantly, right after getting stabbed. The blood stains at the scene confirm that as well.
Could this situation be due to...
I don't like us bringing in an accomplice, but yeah, paper reel installed.
I mean, the murder could be delayed in that the supposed time was delayed. Like.
So okay, if
none of
we
these
assume
really make sense.
that this. Okay, so here's the thing: we know the autopsy had to have been tampered with because Brian was definitely suffering from strychnine poisoning.
Yes.
And they're like, nope, we didn't find any strychnine. So it was definitely tampered with. So maybe that's what the knife is for also. There were two simultaneous contraptions happening while Brian was already dead.
Yeah.
And the knife is just the one that they're like, oh yeah, we've got a big knife wound. Like, Joseph, who did the autopsy, is lying. I mean, maybe that's what the presence of an accomplice is. Like, fully Joseph just
I guess, to some
lied on the
extent.
autopsy report. Because we clearly didn't solve it 3 years in the past.
I don't know. Like, none of these really make sense as presented.
Yeah, this is one of those weird things. I feel like accomplice makes...
For example, the cafe staff may be lying about this matter.
We've questioned more than one staff member, and the likelihood of collusion among them is low.
Yeah, but that's not the accomplice I was
Could
thinking.
it be the police?
Ah, there we go.
推理毫无。 的确，任何证据的真实性都要被打上问号。合理的思路是，暂不做此假设，除非有明确的证据证明警察有问题。
Oh, was he going to propose that it might be Joseph?
I don't like how Shadow Shen's pulling us off that.
Could this situation be due to...
Oh, so he's basically just saying
weird.
no. None of these make
weird,
sense.
Yeah. I'm like, it was Joseph or he was at least helping.
Whatever, let's try.
Since the door was locked first, then the murder.
So maybe they're going for the
Killer
knife
likely
stab.
employed a method to delay the time of the murder.
Yeah.
Like
Second contraption.
Knife contraption, yes.
How can that be possible?
If we have to assemble
There
the
are
knife
no
contraption,
signs of
that would be
binding
the...
or defense wounds on your brother's body.
You
Yeah,
didn't
but
need
he
to
was
because he was
poisoned.
paralyzed.
Would he just
He was
stand
paralyzed with
by and
strychnine.
watch
Yes!
the killer set up a killing mechanism?
Yes.
I suspect my brother had lost the ability to move at that time because...
Ooh, okay.
Oh, we can... Do we even have it?
Well, what are you thinking of?
Well, we would need to... I don't know if we could present the poison or...
Yeah, we
some
don't
kind of
have the
evidence that
poison.
he- well, it says
Body is mostly due to
paralysis?
paralysis of the back nerves.
I guess that would probably do it.
Yeah, they were like, oh, well, that's just a tetanus thing. And it's like, cool, well, he was paralyzed because of tetanus.
Yeah.
It's the best
Officer
evidence, and
Jones
it definitely wasn't
mentioned that
tampered
most
with by
concussions are related to
Joseph
paralysis of the
Iscariot.
back nerves. I suspect the killer used anesthetic drugs on my brother.
We've suggested this direction
Not
early
strychnine.
on, but toxicology results came back all negative.
We tested for literally
Perhaps
everything.
a substance undetectable with current forensic expertise.
I guess that's maybe an option.
Can't confirm or deny that possibility. But
He's like, he's
before
got us
delving
there.
into the drug angle, a more pressing question is, if there was no one in the room at the time, how did the weapon pierce the victim's chest?
With a
No
second
crossbows or
contraption.
similar devices were found at the scene.
Wait, you can load a knife into a
Officer
crossbow?
Jones,
Okay, new
was the
plan. Knife
dagger
and
vertical to
crossbow.
the ground at that time?
At that time, the body was in a contorted
God, so silly.
position. Chest almost
I worked
parallel
really
to the
hard on
ground.
this, boss.
The dagger was thrust
I'm really improving my
vertically into
drawing
his chest.
skills.
It can be considered as vertical to the ground.
Vertical to the ground. And the location where my brother was murdered happened to be directly beneath the skylight. This is likely not a coincidence.
Are you suspecting the killer hung the dagger on the skylight? On
got a little
second
loopy
thought,
thing.
the skylight is very high and it's impossible to reach without a ladder. But Mrs. Cheng's house doesn't have a ladder. There were no signs of anything being moved at the crime scene. How was the dagger hung up then? It can't have flown there, can it?
Yes, with the parrot.
Officer Jones, you reminded me. This
It's like my
item made
brother
me
had a pet
realize
parrot. I
how
didn't
the
mention
killer
it.
Suspended the dagger.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure that part yet. Okay, let's see this. A hot air balloon? Did he? Okay, this is a real wild leap. But okay, so the asbestos mesh, it's asbestos. It's designed not to burn. It has wax in it. The central asbestos has been replaced with wax, which is a weird thing, but there's a thin iron wire tied at each corner. Make a mini hot air balloon.
I wonder if it could have been like using the sun coming through the skylight.
I don't know about that.
Probably not, because like to burn things, you would have to really like have a lens to.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't see a
focus the
lens,
light.
but like I think if you just lit the candle and let it float, eventually it would hit the skylight. And we've got that piece of paper that's burnt, and there's paper ash. So you just use
like
the hot air
paper
to
could
lift
be,
it,
yeah.
and then it just
That's a fun
falls.
idea. Yeah. Let's try
It's
it.
a very thin and light dagger.
Hold on. There's no apparent
Oh,
connection
come on.
between this
Damn
and
it.
the method used to hang the dagger.
It could just be the wrong evidence.
It could be the wrong evidence. Did you do the?
I mean, obviously,
have you done the mesh?
obviously it is the wrong evidence, but
Yeah.
Listen, I get
So
your
it's not the mesh?
investigation
All right, well,
case, but we can't
we
ignore
died.
the objective.
See the bad
facts.
ending, I guess.
You've got talent, lad. Consider this case a valuable learning experience.
Mr. Shen, sign away. Let's put an end to this case.
lost direction. That picture is so sad.
They're all so sad.
Didn't believe his brother committed suicide, but couldn't find evidence to refute the police's conclusion. Failed. You know what? Honestly, I think this might just be a good spot to end.
The ending point. We don't have the triumphant comeback this time.
We'll have to leave that for next episode. Next time on the murders on the Yangtze River.
I do think that the hot air balloon theory.
It's a good theory.
It has
for sure.
Like,
I don't know if maybe you need to present the paper or something. I don't know, the scorch marks on the skylight.
Maybe it's more candles.
Ending it on the bad ending, yep. Ending on a downer today.
They can't all be winners.
Yep. All right.
All right. Next time.
Yeah.
The comeback kid.
We're gonna do. Well, I don't know if we're gonna finish the case next time, but
but we're at least gonna rub it in Sergeant Gott's face.
Yeah, we're gonna do better than this time, hopefully.
Yeah. Oof.
All right.
I am gonna say we're right about there being two contraptions. If it's not a hot air balloon, it is something equally convoluted. And like,
yes,
whoever killed our brother is like
traumatizing Shen.
Determined. Like, this is a truly ridiculous sequence of events.
Yeah, I am still like really confused about the fact that now they had to set up the contraptions after he was dead. Like, I assumed that the whole point of the contraptions was to kill him without, you know, without getting in the room. But like,
and like,
how would they have gotten in with the landlady keeping watch?
Yeah,
And
the
like,
landlady is a weird thing. I feel like when we get more into it, the landlady is dead in the present. But if we get more into it, we might find out that there was a period of time where the landlady wasn't watching. Because, like, okay,
yeah,
I don't want to keep
sense.
things too far after we stop the gameplay. But we do know, like, the whole reason we are here in the present at this publishing house where Shen is currently having a very trippy dream is because there was a book that seemed to know details about his brother's case.
I wonder if it was, what's his face? Stone Wu, who went back to China
Who went back to China? I mean, maybe. It just leaves it really confusing what's up with the bells.
Yeah.
They're just
no, I mean that he
herring?
was the one who wrote the manuscript.
Oh, the book.
Like he might not have been the one who did it, but like he was some kind of accomplice,
that
and
makes
therefore
sense.
he knew details, and he was like,
Rejected
"Ooh, this would
manuscript.
make a fun story. I could make money off of
By
this."
aspiring author Stone Wu.
Yep.
Okay, no, that makes some sense. Okay, yeah. But I guess my point is there's got to be something related to the book that is a detail that Shen did not have before. Because right now, in his dreamscape, he is nailing this, you know? We're not nailing this, but he is.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something new. And if there was something like, oh, there was a period of time where the landlady wasn't watching the door at like 10:30, but she never mentioned that to the cops or something, then that could be something that would be like, okay, this provides a window for the killer to get out, you know? So
Yeah.
I think it would take a little bit less. I am confused about her seeing Joseph head back, though. Or not Joseph, Brian. Seeing Brian head back. Because I could have sworn that was something like noon, which doesn't give that much time.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Look, I only know one thing for certain is that Joseph and Watson are so suspicious.
They are absolutely are.
So suspicious, so evil and British.
All right. Well, I guess that'll be it for today.
All right. See you guys Thursday.
Pick this up on Thursday. Yeah. Oh man, I feel like we're kind of going towards the conclusion already. Like this is just kind of the last case. We're gonna, get as far as we can here in this flashback, and then go back to finding the manuscript, and then wrap things up.
And talk to Afu again. I miss him.
When will Afu return from the war?
When will he return from the war?
He's still just passed out in that archive, just hopefully having a nicer dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Afu, we have to figure out at one point how he's related to things. What's the deal with his mysteriously dead dad and grandfather?
Yeah, his exploded dad.
Yeah, what happened there?
What's up with that? Why is he so afraid of blood? Why didn't we have him helping
slapping
us
Shen to wake him up?
contraptions?
That's how this is gonna go. We're gonna be like right on the cusp of like figuring out the mystery, and then I was just like, "Hey, wake up!"
Wait.
They're just like, "God damn it!"
Yep.
All right. Anyway, that was a fun
right.
episode. Some crazy stuff going on. But yeah, that'll be it for today. So yeah, hope to see you guys on Thursday. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.